If you're drowsy, sluggish, or feeling fatigued, you're about to get your afternoon boost with Tony Gwynn Jr.
That stat line was it was a little bonkers.
Chris Ello.
Whatever, you're such a schmo.
And Matt Skraby.
First off,
sure.
You're not just a tad older than me, so.
Don't blame us for any side effects.
You thrilled our fans throughout the postseason with a great performance.
Gwynn and Chris are ready to go.
Ooh, Castellanos in the air, high and deep to left field. Hayes will do nothing but watch as Castellanos sends it over everything. His first home run in a Padre uniform, his second extra base hit of the day, and a two-run shot to put the Pods ahead here in the third.
And that is how we are going to start the show, Sam Levitt. I'm Matt Skraby. This is Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. Tony Gwynn Jr. will be joining us after he calls the game out there in, I think it's Surprise, Arizona. And then Chris is going to be off today. He is calling the Aztecs women's basketball, but he'll be in for the rest of the week. But Sam, I love to see some Nick Castellanos extra base hits. That's one of my favorite things so far this spring training.
That's one of your favorite things. He's been here for 2 weeks. How is it already?
I said
on
this
the top
spring
of your
training.
list?
I said this spring training. It's one of my favorite things to see because I want him to be great. I want him to be great.
Doesn't take much to make Matt Skraby a happy man, apparently. In all seriousness, yes, Nick Castellanos continues swinging the bat well in the Cactus League, which is good to see. The home run today, Miguel Andujar has a couple of hits, and the Padres trail the White Sox 3-2.
Yes, Nick Pivetta making another start here in spring training. He went 3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 1, walked 1, gave up a home run. But that's not that bad considering what it could have been. And then Kyle Hart went 2 innings, walked 2, and struck out 1, and then Morihone came in. But I mean, there's not much to take from the game so far other than that Nick Castellanos is getting that stroke going, and Nick Pivetta seems like he's working his way towards the season, and he's stretching himself out, I think is what they say, Sam.
Yeah, I think for Nick Pivetta, the number one thing you want from him out of spring training is stay healthy and be healthy by opening day. And I would think he is the front runner right now, the favorite right now to start on opening day against the Tigers at Petco Park. So to me, after what he did last season, I really don't put a whole lot of stock into whatever the numbers are in spring, but priority number one with him and everybody else really is get to opening day fully healthy, and hopefully it remains that way. And a little up and down for him in the Cactus League today at Camelback Ranch, which I don't think is much to worry about.
I kind of like that name, Camelback Ranch. I remember back in the day, I tweeted out a photo of Juan Soto on a camel, and I got blamed for his back injuries. But anyway, I want to quick.
Did you take the photo?
No, I was sent the photo by someone.
And then
who
you
was there,
proceeded
and then
to
I asked
share the
them
photo.
if I could post it, and they said yes, and then I did. And then everybody said that I caused the back injury because apparently I posted the photo of Juan Soto on a camel.
Yeah, you got to have some feel, Scraby. Got to have a little feel.
One of my best performing tweets of all time, Sam. So I should probably just...
What was that, like 10 retweets?
Listen to the famous guy over here. Listen to People Magazine over here.
You got a cool 15 retweets, 100 likes.
I would have to go back, but it would probably be 800, 900 likes or something.
It was bigger than that.
Really?
Because I remember that photo.
Anyway, let me go back to something
Soto
real quick.
On a camel.
Because
was
you
he on a
mentioned
horse or a camel?
It was a camel. Weird start bringing up Juan Soto on the camel, but you brought it up opening day. The Padres are going to face possibly the toughest 1-2 in all of baseball with Tarek Skubal, and then you got Framber Valdez taking over on day 2. It's not going to be easy to start the season. That is for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look, the reality is on opening day, you're facing everybody's number one, right? So you always have for the most part, a pretty tough matchup.
But it's Tarek Skubal.
If you're in the lineup on opening day, because you're facing everybody's number one. Skubal is the number one of number ones right now in baseball. So yeah, it'll be a a tough couple of matchups out of the gate, but that's kind of part of it. You'll have Skubal and then probably Framber Valdez, and we'll see who ends up being the number 3 guy in that rotation for the Tigers. But look, you're going to have to face these guys throughout the season. Happens to be a tough couple of matchups to start the year. But I will tell you, we talked about Nick Castellanos. That'll be a nice opportunity for him to, I think, make an impact right away. I would imagine he'll be in the lineup against a couple of lefties, and probably Andujar. You might see him in there as well. Try to get those 2 righties in against lefties. I would think, that's kind of when you see Nick Castellanos at first base. You again, it's 2 games out of 162, but you can definitely start thinking about Skubal and Valdez out of the gate, because hey, that's exactly the spot where you probably want Castellanos and Andujar in the lineup against lefties. So those 2 guys, in all likelihood, I would imagine, games 1 and 2, the 26th and the 27th, they will have opportunities to make an early mark, much like Gavin Sheets did last year.
Yes.
You remember, had that great spring, and then opening day,
Boom.
hit a game-tying home run. So they will have their shot to make their mark early.
All right, so the Padres are playing the White Sox right now. We told you that. Team USA just scored a run 10-1. They're up over the Giants right now. So Team USA taking the Giants to town. But we do have to talk about
just one note on Team USA. I had I had the Padres game on my phone, and I put the Team USA game in Scottsdale against the Giants on the TV. Kind of weird. My TV here in the Airbnb can't get the MLB app on the TV. Can't get it. I
like you've
searched for
downloaded it and it's not. It just doesn't work.
I can't find it in the App Store on the TV, so I can't put the Padres on the TV.
What about casting it?
Oh, I don't know. With the TV here in the Airbnb, I'm not going to start with the casting and the airplay and all that. So was watching the Team USA game, and it did get me a little excited for the WBC. Seeing them and seeing the Dominican team, all the social media posts, and them playing the exhibition games in the Dominican, which I think is just awesome and really cool. And I'm sure Fernando Tatis Jr. is loving it. So yeah, I'm getting a little pumped up. I think this is going to be fun. I'm getting reminded of how fun it was watching it the last time around and some of the matchups. And look, this Team USA team, I mean, it's star-studded and kind of cool to watch them on TV right now. I haven't seen if Mason Miller pitched, or I don't know if he's scheduled to pitch.
I
but
can go look that up.
One little note, though, not to detour us too much, but one little note that I thought was funny about the Team USA game. So they're brought. It's John Shambi and I think it's Doug Glanville in the booth, and so they have a guy come out of the bullpen for Team USA jersey on, no number on his back.
Okay.
And they knew who it was, but it was kind of weird. It's like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And it's a minor leaguer. I've never heard his name. It's a minor leaguer. Well, it's a Giants minor leaguer in a Team USA jersey, because here, think about it this way. Team USA is not like a Major League Baseball team where they have all these guys in these Cactus League games that they can run out there. Okay, guys are going to pitch on a specific day as they lead up to the games that count. So I suppose they just have a bunch of Giants minor leaguers that they give Team USA jerseys to, and it's like, hey, you're going to go into pitch.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
even if you are not on Team USA clearly, so kind of interesting. That is part of it.
If you're someone like that, you just got to go out there and see what you can do against the best hitters in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, it was like, couldn't they just keep their Giants jerseys on? Like,
that would make more sense.
I don't know. It's spring training anyway, so couldn't they give them like a different? I don't know.
It's not like they have
a numberless. They have a numberless Team USA jersey. Is Gunnar Henderson hits one into the right center field gap. We've got action on the bases. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in, and USA leads 12-1 in the 7th.
Can someone get Sammy some play-by-play? This guy wants to do play-by-play, and he deserves to do play-by-play.
That's my second moment of the week, right?
Yes, that is. So. We don't have enough time to fully jump into it now, but obviously the big news of the day is Jurickson Profar reportedly being suspended 162 games due to a PED violation for the second time. If you remember last year, he tested positive and was suspended for 80 games, and the second penalty is 162. So this opens up a whole can of worms, Sam, because there's tentacles everywhere. But we're going to talk to Chris Demino of 680 The Fan at 240 to about all of this Jurickson Profar stuff. But the first thing I thought, Sam, was, is 2024 now tainted? And I know I shouldn't think that way, but he has his career year with the Padres in 2024, test positive in 2025, test positive again in 2026. Is it a stretch for me to think that there might be something up? And obviously we will never know.
Well, I look, I guess my first thought is, now after the fact, where that year came out of absolutely nowhere, I think it's a fair question to pose. And look, that's on Jurickson in the situation, right? I mean, now you've tested positive twice. He's staring down a full year, 162 game suspension. I don't know, is my answer to it. I mean, I think it's a fair question to ask, you know, like when you just see the year that came out of nowhere, but you know, it's, I don't know. I don't know. Do whatever does whatever he's testing positive for correlate to the year he had, which was so good in so many ways as an offensive player, as a defender, even as well. I don't know. On one hand, I think it's because of the circumstances. It's a question that, if you want to ask it, I think is fair. On the other hand, I guess I'd like to give him more credit than that.
I would too.
Because he was a Padre. Like to think that it was just a really, really good year by a guy that clearly has always had a lot of talent. But, you know, it's hard to argue somebody who poses the question of it now with what's going on. And it's not good. Testing positive once is really bad, and testing positive twice. I mean, whatever the circumstance is, you know, whether knowingly or not, the idea that you would test positive again or make whatever mistake you made about what you're putting in your body again, if I'm taking Jurickson at his word the last time, man, that's a tough pill to swallow.
He's foregoing, I think, $15 or $16 million this year. He only got half of his salary last year. We're going to head to break, and when we get back, I'm going to tell you about what the Players Association is planning on doing. Also, I'll bring up the career highs for Jurickson Profar in certain categories when we get back here.
Yeah, and I'll also just add this before we go to break. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say somebody who really enjoyed Profar's time here, respects him, talked to him a bunch. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, that's the reason he had a career year in 2024. I'm not going to go there. But like I said, it's if somebody says, well, hey, you gotta wonder a little bit, it's hard to push back on that now, especially now when you're talking about, another suspension. So unfortunate it is.
It's very unfortunate. It's very sad, too. All right, we'll talk about that when we get back here. Sammy and Skraby until Tony Gwynn Jr. gets here on 97.3 The Fan.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What?
We know how. 97.3 The Fan. Sam out in Arizona, helping out with the show for a little bit. Sam, we've done these shows before, and we get lots of compliments about us doing shows together. So, it's always special when we get to do a show together a couple days. I know that you don't really feel that way, but I definitely feel it's special to do a show with you. Someone as
look, Skraby, I wish I could. I wish I could say the feeling was mutual.
I knew it. I knew it. I know you get out of your routine, and that's something that I think it would bother me.
I love
seriously.
You, I enjoy. No, this actually these we typically end up, I think, every spring training around this time have a number of shows, or at least parts of shows we do together, because Chris is doing SDSU women's hoops, Tony's doing the Padres game, so there are days where it leaves a bit of an opening where you're all alone, and I'll come fill in. And I'll tell you this, it does change my kind of day-to-day routine here in Peoria.
It totally does.
However, it gives me a nice change of pace and a nice break. And I enjoy working with you, and I respect you. And as you know, I am a huge supporter and advocate of all things Matt.
Sam's laying out a good PR plan right now.
Both on and off the air.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sam. Now I don't know where to go from this love fest back to Jurickson Profar. We are going to talk to Chris Demino here on the other side at 2:40 about things. Also want to ask about Hassan Kim, Robert Suarez, Padres South over there. But the Players Association is planning on challenging the MLB's suspension or reported suspension of Jurickson Profar. We all knew that, so that's nothing new. Wanted to get that out of the way. But here's where you look at his career stats. And I am like you, Sam. I don't want to just say, oh, because he had career numbers, he was doing something. He was taking some PEDs or whatever. But here are his career highs in 2024. Games played, hits, runs, home runs, RBIs, total bases, walks, batting average, OBP, slugging, OPS, and multi-hit games. It just, I don't know how I can't feel like there's something there. And I need to get over it because I put it on Twitter. Does this mean that 2024 is a sham? And some people said yes. Some people said, I don't care. Some people said, we'll never know. And everyone is right.
Yeah, I think, after thinking about it a little bit more during the break, I think from a Padres standpoint and a Padres fan standpoint, honestly, the way I would look at it is, Jurickson, thank you for that 2024. You were a big reason why 2024 was really, really fun, why the Padres made the postseason. Obviously didn't work out in the end, but a big reason why they won 93 games. And my goodness, for Jurickson, there were a lot of memorable moments.
So many.
In 24. But from a Padres fan standpoint, I think you look at it as, well, thank goodness we didn't sign him.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's the Braves' problem.
Exactly.
And could you imagine if that was happening here? If you had signed him and he was supposed to be your starting left fielder last season, missed half the year, and then you're relying on him to be your starting left fielder this season, and he's out for the year, and it's March, and now you're in a spot where there's nobody to sign, and you've got just a huge void. And if he signed the same deal, you'd still be committed money to him. So the way I view it is, Jurickson, thank you for your time. I think he'll, even with this, have a special place in a lot of Padres fans' heart. I'm sure for a lot of people, this does some damage to it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. But Jurickson, thank you, and now it's the Atlanta Braves' problem.
No, you're absolutely right. It is the Atlanta Braves' problem. We could have never predicted anything like this, but this is why, and this is not the sole reason why, but players that are older, coming off of career years, giving them big contracts makes me really nervous. And he's not living up to his contract for other reasons, but you're right. That's what we should look at it as, Sam. We got lucky that we're not stuck with no left fielder here about 3 weeks before opening day.
Yeah, I mean, forget the money part of it. I think that, imagine,
because he's not getting paid that anyway. So
right, imagine that had he missed half the year last year in a Padres uniform, and then now be slated to miss the entire season, when you're counting on him to be a starter. So, yeah, I mean, look, I certainly the couple of years that he was in a Padres uniform while I was here, I enjoyed Jurickson.
Yeah.
24 was super fun, and it's unfortunate. I mean, it's hard to believe it could happen again for apparently what sounds like, if I'm reading this correctly, the same substance. That's all I got.
That's fine. I want to bring completely switch gears, and we're going to go to something that will make everybody happy. But earlier today, Roki Sasaki was pulled out of the game in the first inning of the Dodgers and Guardians game. He gave up a grand slam, couldn't record a single out, only logged 8 strikes and walked 3 batters. And this post is saying, how worried are you? Not worried at all, because did you see him in the playoffs? He was pretty incredible in the playoffs.
I think what's interesting with Roki Sasaki, he has major command issues.
He does.
We saw this last year. The postseason with him was just kind of fascinating because they used him as a late inning guy, as a closer, essentially, at times. And he was really electric at times. And it made you think, okay, well, maybe his short-term future is as a reliever. But they've shown commitment to try to stretch him out again. And I don't know. He's really young. Like, maybe it's one of those situations where either, and by the way, I know we're on air here in San Diego, so like, who cares? But just because we're talking about it,
yeah.
I wonder if that becomes a situation for the Dodgers where one of two things happen. Either you have to let him really develop if you envision him being a starting pitcher and put him in the minors and kind of commit to him there for at least a while and make him earn his way back to the major leagues. Or if you scrap him being a starter at all, at least for the time being, and you try to find what you found in the postseason as a reliever. So he clearly, look, this was even at the time, okay, and when the Padres were rumored to be in on him, and we know it was really, really close, and the Padres almost signed him. We knew at the time this was not at all a Yamamoto situation. Roki was young. He was not a finished product. That was something that was very clear as that process was going on.
Yeah.
Was you heard that he's really good. He's got a lot of talent, but he is not close to a finished product. He needs development. And that has been very, very evident in the first couple of seasons of his time in the major leagues. Yamamoto, was different. I mean, they gave him $300+ million. And look, it doesn't give me any pleasure to say this, but it's pretty good. He came up in the biggest of spots and delivered. So, that Roki situation is going to be interesting to see how they handle it for sure.
I personally just like bringing up bad stuff because it really angered me when he chose the Dodgers, and I know that he had the choice to choose the Dodgers.
If Padres fans want to look at it as karma, then
that's exactly how I'm looking at this right now, Sam.
Okay, that would be another. We were talking about Profar having to rely on him and getting disappointed by that. Hey, this would be another situation like that where, if he was having the same struggles, you'd be looking at it like, man, this was supposed to be a guy who is an ace one day. But, look, he's very young. So maybe the answer is going to be he's got to develop more before he becomes a reliable major leaguer.
I think that is the answer.
From a Padres standpoint, hopefully not.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to go to break. And when we get back, I have a question about, well, I guess not really a question. We're going to talk about Joe Musgrove making his first start of spring training. And then we're going to talk to Chris Demino of 680 The Fan in Atlanta. We're going to ask him about some of those Padres that are now in the Atlanta Braves uniform. Sammy and Skraby, Sam in Arizona. I am here in San Diego. We'll be back here on 97.3 The Fan.
Gwynn and Chris on the Fan.
You guys take your guys.
The quarterback is fine, but you don't make him the number 2 over.
Back here in the Bill House Studios, 97.3 The Fan. We know how. We're about to talk to Chris Demino of 680 The Fan in Atlanta. Atlanta has a lot of questions right now, Sam. They got the Braves, they got the Falcons, they got the Hawks. They got a lot going on. And I know our boss, Adam Klug, is on top of all of it, Sam. All of it. Our ESPN shared account is all Atlanta teams because I believe it's Adam's personal account. So that's kind of what we're dealing with there. But we're going to check in with him in just a couple minutes. Sam, you were contemplating on something in the break. Go ahead and ask the audience before we talk to Chris.
Here's the question. There's been a lot made on this station the last handful of weeks. We've got Woodsy making day in the life videos with his meta glasses. We've got Tony making videos with his meta glasses. And I'll be honest, I'm a little inspired. Do I buy meta glasses of my own for my own content? Is it worth it?
Immediate
is the POV content opportunity worth it? They're not that expensive. I mean, I'm looking here. They're like,
for you,
with tax, probably like $400, which I understand is not cheap. But I think for glasses that film video that well, pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I think out of all people, you are, out of the three that you mentioned, you're the only one that actually might have some great use out of them.
The only thing about them that I'm a little concerned about is that I'm not going to get the use out of them that I think I will, because to be honest with you, a lot of my content, like I've never done POV stuff like that, really. It would make certain things easier for me to film, but that video is actually quite a bit different than what stuff I usually do.
I get it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally get.
And by the way, I don't mean to make it like a $400, fun item is not expensive. It is. My point is like, I actually thought it was more expensive than that. Like, if it were $800, I wouldn't have been shocked based on what it is.
Yeah.
So 400, I'm like,
800 is a lot, though. I would have said no.
Yeah, I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, kind of feels like not terrible for what it is. So
all right, well, everybody weigh in on the chat.
People are telling me to expense it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you can expense it or write it off on your taxes as a business expense.
Sure.
But everybody give your ideas on the chat.
Yeah.
We are now going to go out to Atlanta and talk to Chris Demino of 680 The Fan. And Chris, I want to ask you first, thanks for coming on. And second, Adam Klug was your producer back in the day. And so my question is to you, what was it like to have Adam Klug as a producer?
Neurotic, not us, him. He was the youngest old man that I've ever met.
That's really actually kind of spot on. The youngest old man.
He's a kvetcher.
Yeah.
He's a kvetcher.
Yes.
Yeah, he's listen, I was a little bit insulted. The Braves had 2 pitching injuries right at the beginning of spring training, and the fact that he didn't literally set my phone on fire, wondering not only what does it mean, but what else is going to happen next, because I also think, look, there's an expression, I might be paranoid, but that doesn't mean they're not watching me. I think he's one of those guys as well.
He totally is. Totally. We all love Adam here at the station, and I'm sure he was a great producer for you. But I wanted to make sure we got out of the way because I've never gotten to ask anyone that. Chris Demino, 680 The Fan. Now the big news: Jurickson Profar reportedly is going to face a 162-game suspension for violating PED rules for the second time. Yeah. A simple question: what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, he's a bum. I said he was a bad teammate last year. He went and he did the apology tour, and everybody sort of, even the beginning of the spring training, was talking about, hey, new day, good teammate, wants to win, all the things that, he sold to them last year and then in turn sold to Braves fans. You can forgive but not forget with the one time, and it's over now. He's arguably, I've been doing this 33 years. I've been on the planet 63 years. It's galling. This might be the worst contract the Braves have ever signed. And think about that. Like I live in a town I call it the brick wall of crap. It's just another brick in the brick wall of crap that happens around here, and it was all because of him. He was selfish. Now, look, we had Jeff Passan on today, and he broke it, and I've known Jeff for a long time. He and I were both on the same page in this regard. You hit the lottery. Look, I don't even know if he was clean when he got the $42 million deal here. I don't know if he did that clean. I have no idea. But he won. He hit the lottery. He pissed away $6 million last year, $15 million this year, $21 million is never going to get back. And two things I would like. The Braves were off today, and they're going to get together tomorrow. And I'm hoping, at first I was sort of like, I don't know if you know the movie. There's a character in a movie called Pignetti. And once he's gone, he's kicked out of this academy, like out of this military school. And you never talk about him again. Never to be spoken of again. Pignetti, never to be spoken of again. Before that happens for Jurickson Profar, I want somebody to stand up in the middle of the room with the media there and mother blank him and just literally rip into him. And we have guys who are really good guys. And I don't know if you go against the brotherhood of baseball, even when a guy screws you not once but twice. But I'm kind of hoping that somebody says, I'm speaking for the entire organization, and just rips him. Now, the Braves owe him $15 million next year, and all he has to do is be reinstated. He's going to get $15 million. I'm hoping they cut him. I'm hoping they just pay it off, just say, I never want to deal with this again. I don't even know how legal that is. I know the union, because you pay union dues, is probably going to say something on his behalf. Nobody wants to hear it. I don't want to hear his story. He can tell it walking. I hope that all his stuff ended up in one of those big bins somewhere at the back of the complex. I'm not boxing it up. He's not coming to get it. There's none of that this time around. You're a terrible teammate. You're a bum. And I don't use that word often. And it really is a great word. It's so descriptive. Bum sounds exactly like what it is. That's what he is. I don't want to hear about tainted meat. I don't want to hear about, I don't know, he was in a field and he got thirsty and he went to a cow and he shouldn't have done it, but the cow must have been on something because now he has it. No one cares. No one cares. There's no story this time around.
Fair.
We're joined by Chris Demino in Atlanta, 680, the fan in Atlanta. Well, Chris, look, I think we certainly know your thoughts on Jurickson Profar loud and clear on what's transpired over the last couple of years. Let me ask you this, one more on Profar, because Matt and I were talking about it towards the top of the towards the start of our show. How do you, I mean, because we kind of, I guess, in San Diego, he was beloved, right? He was beloved, the personality, the flair, and he had a great 24. I mean, it was out of nowhere, but the guy had magical moments. So I think for people in San Diego, it may be a little bit difficult to know exactly how to feel about this and him. How do you view the 24 season?
I'm not telling anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not telling anybody how to feel.
Yeah.
We might have been sold a bill of goods because who knows what he was on in 24. And again, here's the thing. He hit the lottery. He made the team. It's $42 million. All you had to do this offseason was not do anything. You're going to get $30 million. Even if you stink to high hell, you could be terrible. You can be terrible. Look, at the end of the day, the Braves might end up being a better team instead of this thing hanging over your head where, oh my God, do I have to worry about him? Which we didn't, because as you said, personality plus. He won everybody back. Hey man, bad mistake. My bad. Love the game of baseball.
Yeah.
That ain't going to be me ever again. Well, it was before the season started. 2 games last year before the season started this year. They get $18 million back this year. Now, here's the problem. Listen to this. He gets popped for 80 games last year. He was on a $12 million contract. So the Braves saved like $5.8 million in salary, but it cost them over $6 million to replace him. So they didn't even win financially last year. And they get a half a season of a guy who we thought now we have to worry about, is he a good player or not? Was he jazzed up or was he not? But he had $30 million more coming to him. So again, San Diego can feel any way they want about him. What I would tell any fan out there is, think about a guy screwing you twice. Not once, twice. And you look around and you go, well, I don't know what we do now. Now, again, here's the crazy part. The Braves might be better off with the $18 million, whether it's McCutchen and Giolito or any combination of whatever it is you might do, but not today. Not today.
Right.
That is not part of this today, because the 18 you get this year, 15 million of it next year could actually go back to this guy's pocket. So again, personality, smile. Oh, he's this and that. We've all known people like this. They're Jakes. They're Jakes. You know, when you shake their hand, I call it cologne hand. When I shake your hand, look to see if your watch is still on, because I'm going to kill you with a smile. And I don't care what the story is. You know, I'll tell you, does this make you a terrible human being? I don't know. That's for you to decide. It makes you a terrible teammate. A terrible, terrible teammate. And you're doing this now in spring training with, you know, less than 3 weeks to go to start the major league season off. And you didn't get a DH, and there's not much out there. I don't know what you want to do, how you're going to fix this. He was absolutely part of this whole program, whether he was playing left field or DH. And this guy was going to have 450, 500 at bats. They had him hitting cleanup. And now this guy does it where you just go, all right, not today. Not today, whatever the story might be, not today.
Chris, let's push the conversation forward a little bit, because this feels like another blow in what's been a tough spring training for Atlanta. A lot of injuries. Give me just a pulse of the fan overall in Atlanta, between the injuries, I suppose the job that Alex Anthopoulos has done. Give me a little feel for what a Braves fan is feeling right now overall entering this year, coming off last year.
So it's two arms. It's Hurston Waldrop, who really had a nice little pop last year, who might not have been in the starting rotation this year because he had options, and that's part of it with a guy like Bryce Elder at the back of the rotation who doesn't have options. And by the way, I'll just say this. Bryce Elder is not going to be the reason you win or don't win this year. Like, for everybody who's up in arms about Bryce Elder being the number 5, that's not why you win or lose this year. Number one headline is, can't believe they didn't get a starting pitcher. You had 2 guys go down, still can't believe they didn't get a starting pitcher. So that's, if I am allowed to speak for Braves fans and the things that I know, the things that I read, the things that I hear when I'm out and about, or in my text messages from buddies, direct messages from people, stuff we talk about on the air. Didn't get a starter. That's probably the most surprising thing. And it's actually a little bit anger inducing to a lot of the fan base. The other part is your offense has got to be better. 2023, it was historic. It seemed like you were up 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 in the first 2 innings. And boy, does that cover up some of the stuff that you might have lacking in your staff, not just your starting rotation, but your staff. I think last year also, because you had all 5 guys. Think about this. Your starting rotation from day one, all 5 guys at one point were out at the same time.
Right.
I don't know if it's ever happened before, but it certainly has never happened around here. So no starting pitcher is a big thing. But offensively, I want you to think about this. Drake Baldwin was not even supposed to be on this team. He ends up winning Rookie of the Year, right? And the only reason he's on the team is because Sean Murphy gets hurt. He comes up and he wins Rookie of the Year. He's the only guy on the offensive side of this baseball team who played above his contract. The only one. Matt Olson maybe played to his contract. Austin Riley, no. Ozzie Albies, no. Ronald Acuna out too many games. Michael Harris, certainly no. There goes Profar for 80 games. Shortstop was a disaster. Not Nick Allen's fault. If Nick Allen was a shortstop in 2023, that would have been perfect, because every pitcher loved Nick Allen playing shortstop. They were so bad offensively last year that you really couldn't afford to keep Nick Allen. I paid $20 million to Kim. I'm paying Strider $20 million for the next 3 years, and I don't even know if he's still a number 2. And Drake Baldwin, of all people, who was not even supposed to be on this roster, is the only guy who played above his contract. You can't win. Like, I'm almost surprised, and this is not pity party time, I'm almost surprised they won 76 games with all of the nonsense that went on around here, both in the rotation and offensively, not doing what it is you're supposed to do.
We're talking to Chris Demino of 680 The Fan in Atlanta, and he is brought to you by SDCCU. It's not big bank banking, it's better. I want to ask about Brian Snitker real quick, because I think it was a little bit of a surprise to maybe some of us on the West Coast that he would step down. But hearing about this, do you think that he stepped down, or was he asked to leave, or what was that situation like?
Well, I look, last year it took its toll. I mean, I've known Brian Snitker for a very long time. I knew him when he was a third base coach. It's a 30-plus year relationship, both on and off the field. And I respect the hell out of him. And that man waited his time. And I'm not sure. Maybe I'm right about this. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I don't know if there have been many guys that have won more games starting their major league managerial career 60 and over. Like, to start your career to win as many games and a World Series. There's nothing but love for Brian Snitker. But I can also tell you, here's what happens. I've been doing it so long that there was a group of players from the mid-'90s, the Chipper Jones, Glavine, Smoltz, Maddox, that group, that I was friends with off the field. You know, I did mix, you know. I had social I had social things with guys like that, going to their retirement parties and their Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. But that was back in the day when you would have beers with guys. You go to spring training, you have beers with guys. It's all changed now. I say it to say this. I went through probably right up to Freddie Freeman and Jason Haywood, where I was socially around guys, like socially. I would go out, I'd see him, it'd be grab a beer at the end of a game, whatever. That went away. What happened is you sort of age out to the players and you sort of become more coach driven. Walt Weiss is probably the closest guy that I am in all of baseball, because every day at 3:15, or a lot of days when they were at home, I'm on the field and I had conversations with him and Ron Washington and Eric Young and Sal Fasano and Eddie Perez, that they become sort of your people. And they know that off the record is sacred. I've never burned anybody in that. So you get to talk about things. What about that slump? What about this? How long is it going to take to get out of it? Walt Weiss became sort of the guy that I'm closest with. And I was nervous he wasn't going to get the job, but a lot of people around here thought it was just an extension of Brian Snitker. I tried to say, and some believed me because of the relationships and just being around guys for a long time, and they trust you, he's not Brian Snitker. And I was so happy at his introductory press conference when somebody brought that up, this extension of Brian Snitker. He said, look, that's sort of insulting. I'm my own man. And I was just happy he said it. Him and Brian Snitker were as tight as it gets. He had an opportunity to interview for managers' jobs outside of the Braves organization. None of them were better than what he was doing as a bench coach here. And he sort of said, if it was reversed, Brian Snitker, I would think, would say the same thing here. I'm my own man. He is. And I really like that about him. He's firm but fair. He doesn't have a lot of rules, but he's going to tell you what they are. He's going to make sure you understand. He's got pride in this Braves uniform. And I think that's something that comes across. And he said something. It's called Behind the Scenes or Behind the Braves. It's a YouTube series. They just put out episode 1. And some of it is his speech to the team when he messaged with them the first time around. His whole thing is, if you're not aggressive in baseball, and he's a football guy, like he is a football guy. He's a grappler. He is a workout guy. He is a bona fide tough guy. The quietest tough guy you're ever going to meet. If you're not aggressive in baseball, you will get overrun. Not careless, aggressive. And I think that this team, from a base running point of view, take 90 feet, break up the double play, take strikes, but bang the ones that you like. I just think there's sort of an invigoration with some younger coaches around here that was palpable when I was down there for a week and a half ago.
Absolutely. Man, I could go on for days talking about this, but Chris, we have to get going with the clock coming up. Thank you so much for joining us here in San Diego.
Oh, hold it. Is
Appreciate
Klug still doing this thing with the clock? Wait. Is Klug still doing this thing with the clock? I tried to tell him years ago.
He's got us married to the clock.
Oh, my goodness.
Time is just a number, brother.
Yeah, well, yes, unless you have to hit the top of the hour right on time, or else, we're in trouble. So,
oh, God.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Right.
Hope to talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
You too. Bye. Chris Demino, 680 The Fan in Atlanta. He was brought to you by SDCCU. It's not big bank banking. It's better. Not what I expected out of the gate.
Well, how does he feel about the Profar situation?
Not what I did not expect for the bum word to come out first. But
well, look. When you got a guy that you're relying on to be your everyday left fielder and he burns you once.
I get it.
And now he burns you twice. You wouldn't be happy either.
No,
so.
I don't know if I would say bum, but I would definitely be angry. All right, we're gonna wrap that up on the other side. But we have Sam versus the fans again. We played this game yesterday. People liked it. We're going to try it once more. So give us a call, 833-288-0973. You're going to be playing for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Field of Dreams Festival at Petco Park.
And what is before they try, what is the heat index they're facing? Do we know? Or
well, you could look up the Scoville on a ghost pepper.
Yeah.
It's one of the world's hottest. There's a couple of hotters.
Scoville's the measurement unit.
The X pepper and all of that.
Thanks for the education, because I did not know.
I've allowed milk and bread, but if I was asked,
tell us the actual rules of this. Like
the rule is,
see if you can do it. I guess
you guys alternate spoonfuls until one of you can't.
One of you can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Until you can't do it anymore.
Fulls.
I will take one.
The winner, Skraby, has a jar of a couple of my jars.
I think they both are winners if they pass this.
The winners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
There will be no back and forth. There will be one spoonful.
Now, this is the one that he has right now.
The 38?
Maybe.
Okay. All right.
No,
Maybe.
this right here, I've been putting on some of my turkey burgers.
Good stuff.
This is hot.
Okay.
Right, we
All right,
it.
hold on.
Here we go.
All right. Let's
Adam's
do it.
ready.
This is a
There,
full
away he goes.
spoonful
He
of
does
the-
have a full spoonful for those listening.
There's
on
no
that.
doubt. I'm literally sweating watching him
That's
do
a
this
full
right
spoon?
now. That's a full spoon.
All
For
right.
sure.
That is a full
Down the
spoon.
hatch we go.
All
All right.
right.
And man, he went the whole thing. He did not.
My
He
turn?
did not trickle that down the throat. He
He
just.
hasn't reached for the milk yet.
Skraby's coming over.
When does the heat kick in?
Oh.
I knew it.
When does the heat kick in?
Wow.
You better go, dude.
There goes Skraby.
They
Skraby,
both did it.
did you swallow that, Skraby? Yeah.
That is some good stuff.
It's delicious.
delicious.
We're going to see it.
Tasty.
I'm going to watch you now.
I'm feeling it already. I am, are you?
No.
He's
Adam's
feeling good.
feeling nothing. All right, so take another spoonful, Adam. You'll win.
Oh, come on. Now we're double dipping.
Yeah,
he's on
you
one
can't put your
spoonful.
same
That's
spoon
not
in
what the
there. Competition's all about.
We always said
Spoonful
that.
two.
Yeah, go for
Oh
it.
yeah.
I always said that Adam Klug was kind of had a.
I at least used a different spoon. No double dipping.
All right.
I didn't know where I don't think
I always
it
thought
matters.
Adam Klug had a cold persona, but evidently it's just the opposite.
All right.
Big
He
boss
is
Michael
handling
Valenzuela
it.
in the
Wait,
YouTube
no,
chat,
dog.
by the way.
What you waiting on? You let laughing it drip in your hand. Oh, okay.
Scraby, where are you? Let me see.
Okay.
I'm just looking at Adam, and Adam's not having any problem at all.
Look at you, Adam.
Adam is backed up.
I'll let you
But
boy.
this
I must tell you, Tony,
wait.
that Adam has cashed the check.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did.
cashed
You
his
said I wouldn't be
check.
able to catch
I
you.
did.
No, you
I
cashed
sure
it,
did.
man.
You
You
proved
cashed
me
it
wrong,
for
my
sure.
friend. I
Scraby,
gotta tell you though, this is further proof that whatever we got him with that
the
tie,
tie thing,
was
yeah, because
super weak.
this is less than a 10,
he's
right?
He's over here having a difficult time.
You're turning a little
no,
red,
The time
Scraby.
was just as bad.
You're turning a
This
little
hit me
red.
By the way,
faster.
this is delicious.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
he's going
Making
for
another
it.
one.
Yes.
Come on, Adam. Wow,
Delicious.
you're gonna have to come back in 6 months with like an 88.
Oh.
It's 38.
We'll have to go with the higher Scoville next time.
All right. Oh, wow. Look at this guy. He's talking
Drop.
trash now.
Well, he
I
should
haven't had a
be.
sip of milk or
He
bread.
hasn't even reached for it.
No, he doesn't
came out
even
of the
need the
gates
bread.
talking trash.
All right.
All right. Now
Hey,
I'm
man.
going to take another one.
What?
Well,
Why
you got
are
to you got to
doing
hold
this
another
to
spoon.
yourself.
No, because I don't want.
You don't want Adam to say
He,
he
by
has
the way,
wheat sauce,
yeah, he
baby.
get the whole
Full spoon,
get the same
baby.
thing that like he's dropping it all in there.
Keep the studio clean.
It's all anybody's
Big
worried
boss
about.
Michael watching over here. Come on.
Ooh, boy. Scrabe, get back in front of the camera. Your face is red, Scrabe. Isn't it, Tony? Are you
I'm
seeing
sweating.
the same thing?
You are sweating. Your face is definitely.
Why do you keep doing this?
You're not feeling anything?
Adam hasn't even
Anything?
moved over
I
there.
feel a 1 or maybe a 2 out of 10 here.
Wow.
Adam
That's ridiculous
Klug.
because I'm.
Wow.
Adam Klug is a tough
Brady's
son
now
of a
bent
gun.
over the trash can.
No,
over
I had
there.
to spit.
I was going to say, it looks like Adam Klug may be producing the rest of the show because he's fine. Scraby may need
Scraby's
to
going to
go
the
get
bed. Yeah, you know,
assistance.
Here's want
Frank-
the milk, dude. It might
Frank
work
predicted
better.
that.
No.
Oh, did he?
Frank
Scraby's having
predicted that.
bread.
Oh yeah, that Adam would just cruise through this with
Frank
no problem.
predicted this.
He did.
Frank on the last show.
I
said
know you
Adam
had
would
it
have
like
no
that.
He
problem.
did.
I got a newfound respect from Tony Gwynn Jr.
Yes,
here.
you do.
So-
all right.
So Skraby has the prizes for you, Adam. You have one, a jar of the ghost.
You can
pepper
have as much of this
salsa.
as you want at all
And
times.
the,
Yeah.
Mr. Lane's roasty 38 chili powder.
You should let me have that chili powder though. I think I do. I think I would do more damage.
Started
with
off
this.
giving me the mild. My
And what is before they try, what is the heat index they're facing? Do we know? Or
Well, you could look up the Scoville on a ghost pepper.
yeah.
It's one of the
there.
world's hottest.
The
There's a couple of hotters.
Scoville's the
Reaper
measurement
and
unit.
the
Okay.
X pepper and all of that.
Thanks for the education because I did not know. It was
I've
so
allowed
Yeah.
milk and bread, but if I was
So
asked,
tell
I would
us
have
tell us
said
the
no.
actual rules of this. Like,
The rule
Want to see if you
is
can do it, I guess.
you guys alternate spoonfuls until one of you can't.
Spoonfuls.
Yeah, that's-
Until
yeah,
one
that's
of you
not
can't
happening.
do it
Plural.
anymore.
Yeah,
That's not happening.
until you can't do
love
it anymore.
fools.
I will take
And
one
the winner,
spoonful of
Skraby,
this.
has a jar
Yes.
of
Here it
a
is.
couple of my jars.
I think they
Products.
both are winners if they
Hold
pass
on,
this.
let's
I
say the
hate to
winners.
say, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
There will be no back and forth. There will be one spoonful.
Now, I am.
This is the one that he has right now.
The 38,
Maybe.
Okay. All right.
No,
maybe.
this right here, I've been putting on some of my turkey burgers.
Good stuff.
This is hot.
Okay.
Right, are we doing it?
One. They have beat the White Sox 4-3. Jeremiah Estrada gets the win. Woo! We got a Nick Castellanos home run in the third inning.
Well, hold on.
Two-run
I've
shot.
got to catch up here. Let's see.
Okay.
So the Padres were trailing 3-2. Seventh inning, a bases loaded walk to Pablo Reyes tied the game at 3. And then in the eighth inning, Rodolfo Duran on base. Francisco Acuna, a double into left. Duran scores. San Diego in front 4-3. And the Padres hang on to win it 4-3.
Nice job. They are now 5-7
Pena,
on
the
the
save.
year.
Bradley Rodriguez, a scoreless 8th inning.
Mason
Jeremiah
Miller.
Estrada, a scoreless 7th inning.
Mason Miller, a scoreless inning. Struck
What are you
out
looking
one.
at here? I don't see Mason Miller here.
Well, I'm a little confused. What are you talking about? I'm seeing right there. He pitched an inning. He pitched. He had 7 pitches, 5 of them for strikes. He only needed
You
7
mean
pitches.
in the Team USA game?
Oh yeah, duh. What am I talking
I'm talking about the Padres.
I completely forgot that he's on Team USA.
Yeah, I mean,
I know,
Team USA is winning 15 to. Now,
why are they in the top of the 10th?
What? That's what I was going to say.
15 to 1.
What is going on? What is going on?
15 to 1.
Team USA. So now they're in the. And by the way, here's the funny part. This is on ESPN. This game, and now it says it's a wacky scorebook. It says top of the 10th inning, 15 to 1.
It's insane. I don't know what's happening here.
I don't know either.
It
know.
Seems like overkill, but maybe they need to get every guy to have one at bat.
Do they have to broadcast the rest on TV? I guess.
I don't know, but this is bizarre. This is bizarre. 15 to 1.
It is probably that they either they needed guys to get work in, as far as pitchers, or they want guys to get more at bats. I would assume it has something to do with the pitching without knowing about it before I just saw it.
I just love it. I just love it so much. All right. We would just talk to Chris Demino, 6A The Fan. Really appreciate him coming on. We're going to play Sammy versus the Fans here in a second, but after having about 5 minutes to decompress from that, I mean, I think I wouldn't have projected the way that he did, but I think it's fair for you to feel upset about this, because think about it. This is their season, and now they're already starting out with a terrible thing. Jurickson Profar, their left fielder, DH cleanup hitter, is not there anymore, so I understand the anger.
Yeah, I think, look, I think from a teammate standpoint, it's a rough look. I mean, imagine that scenario if you're an Atlanta Brave. I mean, you're relying on a guy to show up and be a big part of your team, be a bat in the middle of the order. You signed him to a pretty sizable deal. Yeah, I mean, I get it from a teammate standpoint. If there are guys in that Atlanta clubhouse that feel, I don't know if betrayed's the right word, I don't know if trick's the right word, but the reality is when you walk into a major league clubhouse, you're going to battle with those guys.
Yeah.
And, and also I think a lot of players have pretty strong opinions about, guys who get, well, put it this way. A lot of guys who are not, taking anything would have strong opinions when guys get popped.
Yeah. I'm following the rules. Why can't you?
Yeah. I mean, I even think about obviously when Fernando had his suspension, look, there was a lot of support in the Padres clubhouse for him. But if you remember at the time, there were some strong comments at the time.
I remember Joe Musgrove saying
about it,
like, "Hey, we needed him," type of thing.
Yeah, there were strong comments, and from a teammate standpoint, I think it's a rough look inside that Atlanta clubhouse. I think how could it not be? So, and from the fan standpoint too. Again, forget the contract and thinking about 2024, and do you now question that? And again, that's probably all fair, but just from a baseball standpoint, this is a guy that is supposed to be your everyday left fielder the last couple of years and a middle of the order bat. I mean, that kind of guy. So to not have him, to have it happen once and now have it happen twice it's a rough look. It is. There's no way around it.
That is a rough look. Okay. It's time for Sammy versus the fans. Yesterday we played. Now, if we do play this in the future, I'm going to come up with better rules because these are just kind of the rules that we have. But I'm going to play a Jeopardy theme for a minute, and I'm going to ask questions to our caller. They're going to name off as many answers as they can. Sam is not going to listen to the caller.
I'm going to go sit down.
You're going to go sit down.
Like I did yesterday.
Okay, sit down.
What's the category today?
It's still 2025 Padres season.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we already have our contestant on the phone. I'm going to turn Sam's
All right,
thing
so wave
off.
to me when you're ready.
Okay, thank
you. People can watch me on my couch again.
It was fun yesterday, actually. All right, there he goes. I'm just making sure he's away from the screen. Let's get our contestant on the phone. Hello, Dylan.
Hello.
Are you ready to play, Dylan?
Oh, yes, I am.
All right, and you have mom or dad there with you just in case you win?
Yep,
Okay.
Mom's here.
All right, both of you can answer, but here we go. I'm going to play I'm going to play a minute's worth of Jeopardy music, and you're going to answer as many questions as possible. So you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, here we go. Who did the Padres lose to in the wild card series last year?
The Cubs.
Who primarily hit leadoff for the Padres last season?
Arise.
Who led the Padres team in batting average last year?
Tatis.
Who was the main A's player the Padres acquired at the trade deadline?
Mason Miller.
How many wins did the Padres have in the regular season?
93.
93. And which Padre hitter struck out the most on the team last year?
Manny Machado.
What Brewers pitcher did the Padres acquire at the trade deadline? You can also pass. Pass, okay. What team did the Padres beat to clinch their playoff spot last season?
Was it the Brewers?
Wow, you got it in right under the buzzer. Okay, Dylan, you stay there. I'm going to tell Sam he's ready to go, but you can listen. I'm going to put you on hold real quick. All right, I'm waving to Sam. He is on his couch. He's not paying attention. There he goes. Now he's paying attention. So there we go. Dylan almost answered all of the questions. There was only one more question. And so Sam is now his turn. Now, Dylan answered all but one question, Sam. So You're competing against Dylan and his mom. And I'm going to get the Jeopardy music going. And then it is time for you, my friend. 3, 2. Who did the Padres lose to in the wild card series last year?
The Cubs.
Who primarily hit leadoff for the Padres last season?
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Who led the Padres in team batting, or who led the team in batting average?
Qualified guy, I assume?
Yes.
Luis Arise.
Who was the main A's player the Padres acquired at the trade deadline?
Mason Miller.
How many wins did the Padres have last year?
90? 80?
Which Padre hitter struck out the most on the team last year?
It's probably Manny.
What Brewers pitcher did the Padres acquire at the trade deadline?
Nestor Cortez.
Which Padres player had the most sacrificed bunts last year?
Oh my goodness.
That one's ridiculous.
Sacrifice bunts?
Actually, never mind. I forgot to ask that one. I'm going to give you this last one. What team did the Padres beat to clinch their playoff spot last year?
The Fermin walk-off single. Who was that against? I think it was the Brewers.
Okay. All right. You did pretty well, Sam. So
what's
did
the
Dylan.
one? What's the one that? What? I can't believe I blanked on the win total. It's 90, right?
Yeah, you got
90.
it right. You got it right.
Right.
Let me.
For a second, I'm like 80. No, they won 90 games.
Yes. So who did the Padres lose to in the wild card? It was the Cubs. Both of you said the Cubs. Who primarily hit leadoff for the Padres last season? Dylan said Arise. You said Fernando. It was Fernando. So you go ahead. Who led the Padres team in batting average? Dylan said Tatis. You said Arise. It was Arise. So you're up by 2. Who was the main A's player the Padres acquired at the trade deadline? Mason Miller. Both of you correct.
That's insulting to JP Sears, but okay.
Main player. How many wins did the Padres have in the regular season? Dylan said 93. You said 90. You were correct. Which Padre hitter struck out the most? Manny. Both of you said that. Brewers
That
pitcher.
was a guess. Yeah.
Brewers pitcher who was traded or acquired by the Padres. Dylan passed. You said Cortez.
Dylan.
That was correct.
Mr. Cortez.
What team did the Padres beat to clinch their playoff spot last season? Both of you got it correct with the Brewers. So you win, but also Dylan wins because he played the game. So congratulations, Dylan. Thank you for playing.
Yep.
All right. He doesn't sound too excited.
All right, Dylan, good job. You still got the prize.
Stay right there. Stay right there.
By the way, people on YouTube that watch me go sit on my couch, they're saying Sammy was in his slippers. I would like to point out these are actually Birkenstocks.
Oh, that is a huge difference. Do you have slippers?
No. In San Diego, I usually wear Crocs around the house. See, little
oh my
fun
gosh,
fact
we just talked about Crocs on the show.
Really?
The other
Little
day.
fun fact about me. I do not like walking around in my bare feet at home.
Really?
Do not like it.
Just because it's dirty?
I don't like walking around in my bare feet. I even don't really like walking around in my socks. I need footwear. I like footwear.
Oh.
I like footwear in the house. So
Footwear.
I'll have a pair of Crocs or slippers or something. Crocs has been the last few years that I will only wear in the house. They do not leave the house.
Okay. I mean, I know people like that. I guess I never grew up in a family like that where I just walk around bare feet all the time.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, there was no Levitt house rule that prevented you from walking in your bare feet, but I don't like it. Your feet get dirty. I don't like the feeling of it. I was at the pool the other day, and even that, I don't like just something about the.
When you're at the pool, you have to wear shoes. I mean, you can't be going bare feet at the pool.
Well, we were kind of running around not running around at the pool, of course, but we were
horse playing.
Yeah. So let me explain. The other day, my mom famously had been in town. My brother was here over the weekend. And so on Sunday, we did I didn't end up going to the game, and we did a little pool day. And we went to a resort pool, and it was beautiful. It was great. And we had a great time. So I don't remember why I started talking about this, why everybody needs to know
the
this.
Shoes and the feet.
Yeah, it reminded me that we were walking around barefoot, like pool to pool, and yeah, it reminded me that I don't like that.
I learned something new about Sam today, and I'm a better person for it. So thank you, Sam, for sharing that with us. All right,
you learn a lot about me every day.
That's true. That's true.
There's a lot to know about me.
There is, and you don't have as many opportunities.
I'm a deep guy. I'm a guy with emotions.
Wearing
I'm a guy with
Birkenstocks on the couch, deep.
I'm a guy with thoughts. I'm a guy with, I have some depth to me.
We'll come back with. We'll come back to the guy who wears Crocs on 97.3 The Fan.
Tune in to 90.
You know, one thing I don't know about Sam, and it's Sammy and Skraby here, 97.3 The Fan. Tony on his way back from the Padres beating the White Sox. But one thing I don't know about Sam is, do you appreciate music like this, Sam?
Like
what we were just playing, the heavy rock.
No, I like a lot of music.
I figured.
I'm a big music guy.
Yeah, you are. That's why I asked.
That's one genre that I don't subscribe to. No, but if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. You kind of like that.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm into it. Does it surprise you that I back in when I was 18, I used to listen to like Slipknot and like screaming music, and then I got my ears stretched.
Yeah, but isn't Slipknot like? Slipknot's not like heavy metal, right?
I don't know what it's actually qualifies as.
I've
but
never
it's
heard
heavy.
a Slipknot song in my life.
Oh my god!
But I always thought Slipknot was more like My Chemical Romance.
Oh no!
Really? Okay.
My Chemical Romance is very emo. Slipknot is not
Panic
emo.
at the Disco.
Yeah.
I liked,
no.
You know, I didn't like My Chemical Romance that much, but I Panic at the Disco.
I like them.
I liked a couple of their
I
songs,
love My Chemical Romance.
You know what I loved, and this is not heavy metal at all. We're going in a different direction. I loved early Paramore.
Oh, okay.
Early Paramore, yeah, like that.
Haley
that
Williams
first album with Misery Business and Crush, and yeah.
And
I'll tell you why. I'll actually tell you what got me onto Paramore. In high school, I was in I think it was history class. I think was it freshman or sophomore year? I think it was freshman. And I won't say her name, but there was a classmate of mine that sat to my right, and I had a very, very, very big crush on this classmate.
Okay,
and she loved Paramore.
Oh.
So guess who also decided they were going to love Paramore?
You are the biggest Paramore fan in the world.
I was like, oh yeah, Haley Williams, she's the best.
She's great. She's great.
Oh yeah. Are you going to go to the concert? Whatever.
I'm going to admit something really embarrassing right now.
Okay.
You just spurred something in my head. Freshman year Spanish class. There was a girl that I sat next to that was like one of the popular girls. And so, of course, I'm a 13-year-old. I'm trying to impress her. So she said, I told her this was back when CD burning just came out and people could do CD burning at home. And so I told her that I had the new Jay-Z CD and I'll burn her a copy. Problem is, I didn't have the new Jay-Z CD and I didn't have the burning down. So I went and bought the Jay-Z CD because I felt like there was no way out. But this is what we do as freshmen in high school.
I'm sitting here trying to think if there's any other examples of that. Of things I got into because I had a crush.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I'm
sure there's something, but that's like what I very specifically remember from my youth. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we tried, Sam. We tried. We had big crushes, and at least I failed in my whole. Once I gave her the CD, she didn't care about me at all ever again.
That's okay. It's the thought that counts.
That's how high school goes. Tomorrow, Padres are going to be taking on Great Britain. And Joe Musgrove is going to be making his spring debut. I am looking forward to seeing what the Padres can do against Great Britain.
Yeah, I'm taking a quick look at the Great Britain roster, which admittedly I haven't done until this very moment. I know Jazz Chisholm is on the team.
Is Aroldis Chapman? I don't think he actually can.
At least I thought Jazz is on the team. Why don't I see Jazz? Where is this an old? Oh no, this is an old roster. Hold on. Harry Ford, Chisholm Jr. Trying to see who else I
don't know if you're going to recognize
Trace Thompson, Clay's brother, former Padre, on the team. Dylan Covey, former Orleans Firebird, back in the day with me. Tristan Beck. Who else here? Andre Scrub. I don't know if he ever made it to the major leagues.
Terrible last name for an athlete.
Vance Worley, certainly a name people would recognize. Yeah, there are a few. I mean, it's certainly not Team USA or the Dominican or, Venezuela or a bunch of very, very major league filled teams, but it'll be interesting. And look, from a Padres standpoint, Joe Musgrove getting on the mound is great, and it'll be great to see Joe back in the stadium and take another step forward for him as he gets ready for the season. And continues his progression still coming off Tommy John and gets ready for the regular season. So that'll be great. And we haven't talked about it, but Walker Buehler will pitch on Thursday in his first Cactus League action in a Padre uniform. I said this to Braden a little bit earlier. To me, the Walker Buehler situation, I think, is right up there as far as the most fascinating stories of Padre spring training. And I say that, A, because of who he's been in his career and at one time who he was with LA. I say that because after his outing against the KBO's NC Dinos over the weekend, there was the takeaways from that, from what I understand, were really good. His velocity was in a good place, better than I thought, from what I understand, better than what they thought it would be, especially early in the outing. Today, and again, I'm just watching here, but today, very, very intently working with Ruben Niebla in a bullpen. And not only is the velocity supposedly in a pretty good place, which is important, but I think also he's with the right pitching group to help him figure out what the sort of new version of Walker Buehler is going to be. I mean, he's admitted it. This is a guy that's not going to throw as hard as he once did. His body has been through a lot. He's dealt with a lot of injuries, and now some real ups and downs in the post Dodger, part of his playing career. So to me, it's fascinating to see if a pitching group with Ruben Niebla and Ben Fritz and the other guys that work together in that group, if they can create a little magic with Walker Buehler. And we've seen them do this before. Take guys and really turn them into something more than what you thought you were necessarily getting. We always talk about the examples of Waka and Lugo, and those were two really good ones. This is a little bit of a different situation with Buehler, but to me, it really is turning into one of the more interesting, kind of fascinating storylines of spring, I think.
Totally. I mean, I would assume that if he doesn't make the team, then they're going to cut him loose to go try and make a team elsewhere. But I think also some of it is you get to work with the pitching whisperer. Maybe Walker Buehler wants to work with him.
Yeah, and Ruben is just so good at identifying things and capitalizing on strengths, and him and his staff do a great job. I mean, there is just a lot of proof in the pudding with Ruben and his staff. So I'm not surprised to seemingly, to see Walker working really closely with Ruben and his staff. And after that game against the KBO team, which again was just on the backfields, but the takeaway from that sounded pretty good. So I'm interested. He's probably going to face a pretty good lineup from Seattle. They'll be in Peoria, so you'll probably get a lot of starters. No Cal Raleigh, but you'll probably no Julio Rodriguez, so it won't be the A+ lineup. But I assume you'll get a lot of major league guys that are in that lineup on Thursday, and I think it's going to be a good test and something to watch with Walker Buehler, because I'm starting to think if he impresses in this camp, I'm very interested to see if he breaks camp with the Padres. I am too, because that would be a storyline, number one, and number two, if he can help, that would be awesome, because the Padres are going to need it. Fernando Tatis Jr. did get on base in his game with the Dominican Republic and the Tigers. However, he did not get any further, but there you go. He had a single. What about Manny?
Manny, I don't think is hit yet, but let me go double check.
You're giving at-bat by at-bat updates of this exhibition.
Manny is not hit yet. Well, only if Fernando. I didn't give you a Ketel Marte and Juan Soto report.
How they do.
0 for 1 each of them. So
hold on, I want to see
Juan Soto or
paying attention.
Vlad Jr. 0 for 1 with a K.
Oh, this is okay. Hold on here. Now you've piqued my interest.
Oh,
who the Tigers sent? Interesting. I was kind of wondering who the Tigers would send to the Dominican to play in these games, and obviously it's great competition.
Yeah.
They've got Torkelson's there, Keith is there, McKinstry, Rogers is catching, Riley Green. So they sent
Javi Baez,
a bunch of their big guys. Yeah, a bunch of their big guys. No Baez.
But
he's not playing for Puerto Rico, I don't think, right? So he may not be playing today, or may not have made the trip. But that's a cool game. I got to tell you that and hearing Fernando talk about it before he left, that is really, really cool.
Yeah.
It is. Him going down to the Dominican along with everybody else and playing these games down there, I think is just awesome. I mean, you can really tell when you talk to Fernando, and I'm sure it's similar for all the guys, how much this means to him to put those colors on his chest and play for the Dominican, and how much he loves the country and how much it means to him and his family. So hopefully it's a great thing for him and Manny, and they translated into success with the Padres this season.
I agree. Have you heard about a player on the Tigers named Max Clark?
Yes.
Okay, so he created a bunch of controversy yesterday.
Yes, and he had a very, very long statement today.
He says he's
read every word of.
You did?
I did.
You did? It's like at least 1,000 words. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
It is the longest.
I
don't care what people say about me message I've ever seen in my life.
Well,
and
yeah,
what we're saying is he wore a bunch of diamond necklaces on the field. He dropped two fly balls in left field.
I don't think, I'd be curious to get more of a major league perspective on this.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is much more of like a player thing.
This is a Tony question
of having some feel. Look, I'm not even going to get into wearing those level of chains.
It's ridiculous.
It's what, and if you're in the major leagues, maybe you can make more of a case. Even if you were in the major leagues and you were not a big time player, it might be a little bit much.
Yeah.
But okay, the chains, whatever. If he likes wearing them, his fashion, great. Teach their own. I support players, wearing what they want and that kind of stuff, whoever it might be. I think the part when I read the statement today was I was like, man, this is pretty what's the word?
Tone deaf?
Forward, not tone deaf. This is, I don't think arrogance the word. It's just, for lack of a better term, kind of a lot for a guy that has not yet made the major leags.
Yeah.
That's the way I put it. It felt like a lot. Like
he's a third overall pick too in 2023.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just, I don't know, bring some levity to it. I don't know. This is just like a lot, and you haven't made it to the big leagues yet. And I would imagine that sounding like that, and you haven't played a day in the major leagues, I don't know. To me,
you know what I'm going to do?
There have got to be teammates of his or guys in that clubhouse that
are
like,
really
hey,
annoyed.
Why don't you got to tone it down?
Sam, when we get back,
see a pitch in the major leagues.
When we get back, just because you were talking about the statement, I'm going to read the entire thing. I'm going to read the entire.
That's the way
thing.
I put it. It was just a lot. It was a lot for somebody who has not played in the major leagues yet.
Yes. All right.
Yeah,
well,
I'd honestly, when Tony comes on, I'd be curious to.
We'll bring this up to him because I'm sure he knows.
Thing. A lot of baseball and baseball like Clubhouse, and I feel like baseball culture is like feel, like feel for situations, and I don't know that I get a great that. There's great feel.
It's like you're the new guy, and you walk in with more bling around your neck than anybody in the clubhouse.
It was the statement that I read today.
Okay, all right, we're going to break.
I didn't really have an opinion on it, and then I was like, oh man,
we're going to break. When we get back, I'm going to read this Max Clark statement on the air. Sammy and Skraby, 97.3 The Fan.
From the first pitch.
Sammy and Skraby, 97.3 The Fan. It's not really the song for
Wait,
this.
hold on. I got something for you. You ready?
Oh, wow. What?
Ready for this?
Sure.
Here we go. You ready for this?
Okay.
Sammy and Skraby.
You have a sound effect on your phone. That is hilarious. That works. That works for me.
Sammy and Skraby.
I dare you to interview Manny Machado and do that. Be like, Manny, I know it was a tough day, but can you tell us a little bit about the game? That would be hilarious. Tony Gwynn Jr. will join us here shortly. He is on his way back from not Camelback Ranch, but I believe Surprise, Arizona.
No. Camelback Ranch. You're right.
Okay, Camelback Ranch. Do they share
It's the
it
White
with
Sox.
the Dodgers?
Yes, they do.
Oh, okay.
Surprise is the Rangers and the Royals.
At least you don't have to do the spring training in Florida, because I heard Florida spring training is way more
it's
spread
a good
out.
point, Scrabe. It's a totally different experience.
Totally.
It really is.
Oh, you've been to the Florida?
I have. Well, I not nearly in the capacity that I now do in Arizona, but I have been down there a few times. So I've only been to one complex at a time when I've been down there. Like I went to West Palm Beach a couple of times when I was in the Astro system. But it's a different experience because the teams are not nearly as close as they are in Arizona.
Yeah,
I mean, you could have a game that's 2.5 hours away.
That's
so
insane.
it's a very, very different experience. It really is. And I will tell you from people that have worked in both, people much prefer Arizona for that reason. I mean, it's just logistically so much easier. Now, I will say this, in my opinion, in Florida, you can go to some really pretty and nice places.
Yeah.
Like West Palm Beach, for example, is beautiful. To me, I think it's a little more beautiful than here in Arizona.
I don't think that's
from
an
the
argument.
baseball logistics standpoint, I think it's a lot easier here.
That's what Tony was telling us when he was with the Phillies. He had to go to the Florida training camp for spring training, and it was not easy. All right.
Yeah.
If you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla for dining or takeout options. Visit spiroscuisine.com. I'm going to read this Max Clark post right after traffic. And get ready, people. I'll set everything back up because this is a post of all posts.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurickson. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic sponsored by Sandua Law Firm, fighting for your sexual harassment rights at SDLF.com. Got a number of things going on this afternoon, but the big problem southbound side of the 805 before the 8, all but that left lane is blocked, all due to investigation of that fatal big rig crash, which resulted in a big rig fire. So looks like you can access both east and westbound 8 from South 805, but you must be in that right-hand lane. You're not going to be able to just continue on South 805. You can only do that through that left lane. Now, once you're past it, we are going to report a collision South 805 right past Home Avenue. No details as to whether that is blocking any lanes. Also, on the Mira Mesa Boulevard off-ramp northbound 15, a collision, and reports of a crash on East 56 at Carmel Country Road. It's over to the right shoulder. You spoke up and suddenly your schedule changed, your hours got cut, or the pressure got worse. That's not okay. San Diego Law Firm will help you fight against sexual harassment. Contact them at SDLF.com. That's SDLF.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Max Clark was drafted 3rd overall in 2023 by the Tigers. So a very highly touted prospect. Yesterday, he didn't catch 2 fly balls in left field in the first inning. He's wearing eye black. He's got it all down. He's got a bunch of chains around his neck. And it looks like he's more concerned about the look rather than the play. And so fans are getting on his case. And here is what he wrote back. Everybody strap in. I don't care what they have to say, to be completely honest with you. People don't know me. There's a lot of people out there that will do anything for some monetary clicks. I've been dealing with this since I was 15. It's part of this game. It's a part of this process. And it's only going to get worse, obviously. People love to talk about things they don't have a clue about. They don't know how I was raised. My mom was a special ed teacher. My dad drove semis. I grew up in a 2-story house, loving God and serving him. And just for people to go out there and say stuff like that, I'm sleeping just fine at night. I can promise you that. One day they're going to have to look in the mirror and answer the question themselves. I get to wake up each and every day and play a child's game for money, surrounded by 3 probable Hall of Famers, 6 All-Stars, 15 Gold Gloves, and a manager who's won the World Series, who also played. They support me, they love me, and we work each and every day for that. That's the big picture. I don't care if people criticize me for dropping 2 fly balls. No kidding. I should have caught the fly balls. It doesn't matter if the sun was there. It doesn't matter if it was my first time playing left field. It doesn't matter. I should have caught the ball, but it had nothing to do with the fly ball, right? They're just looking for an image to paint. People talk about humility and humbleness. That's not even a question. Each and every one of these guys know what I'm going to go out and do for them each and every day. Emmanuel De Jesus, I got him 2 bottles of the best rum you could find because I felt like bleep for messing up his incredible start. I'm aware of it. And that's the thing that people don't realize. That's the thing that people don't understand. They're not inside this clubhouse, and there's a reason for that. Even the ex-big leaguers of the orgs, like Jeff Fry, there's a reason that he's doing what he's doing, and there's a reason that we're doing what we're doing. There's a reason that we're still in baseball. There's a reason that AJ Hinch is still in baseball. There's a reason that we're all still in baseball.
I didn't notice that part.
There's a reason that AJ Hinch is still in baseball. It's because they carry a heavy responsibility to take us mature men, which we are. It's a strong clubhouse. I'm almost done, guys. Parker Meadows and I were messing around, and you snapped a picture of it. That should tell a story in itself. He's the man. Everybody had my back. Everybody has lost a sun ball. I read something from Austin Jackson the other day on it. It was like, as long as he's out there trying to figure out how to catch in the sun, then that's all that matters. And that's right. The same day I texted George that I wanted extra work in the field, I wanted extra work to figure it out. Those things come. You learn them. They just come with the territory. Obviously, I'm going to get more flack just because of the way I dress. But at the end of the day, I know I'm a baller. I know I'm a gamer, and that's what everybody else here knows. That's why I was drafted where I was. Quite a long response for someone who is not concerned with what people say about him.
There was a part in there where had he just said this part, I literally think he could have just said these few lines, and really it had been perfect. No kidding. I should have caught the fly balls. It doesn't matter if the sun was there. It doesn't matter if it was my first time playing left field. It doesn't matter. I should have caught the ball. Period.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
You just say that and don't even address the rest. And I think that's fine. Also, again, it's just a lot. It's just a lot for somebody that hasn't been in the major leagues. Again, I really don't care about the chains or the eye black. You play well, you can do whatever you want.
Yes.
Okay, it's always been my opinion. People have called my post-game show about bat flips and all kinds of stuff. My opinion is, hey, you play well, you do your job, you do something good. I'm cool with whatever. You want to celebrate, you want to have swag. I'm personally fine with it. I don't get worked up about it at all. But this is a lot for somebody who has not played a day of Major League Baseball. And I had the reaction because I didn't even really digest this part. I'm aware of it. That's the thing that people don't realize. That's the thing that people don't understand. They're not inside this clubhouse, and there's a reason for that. Even the ex-big leaguers of the orgs, like Jeff Fry, there's a reason that he's doing what he's doing. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I think I misread this. Okay, I think it's actually a compliment to Jeff Fry. I first read it as
I've never taken it.
That's why he's not playing anymore. No. I would assume he actually means in the context that there's a reason he's an ex-big leaguer coaching or whatever it might be. Okay, when you read it, I was like, what? But okay, that makes more sense.
That does make because I did think he was taking a shot at Jeff Fry.
No, I don't think that's a shot. I think it's actually a compliment as far as I would assume Jeff Fry is a coach in the organization. Skraby, it's just a lot.
That's the perfect way to describe it.
A lot of words. It's a lot of words. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of names of guys that have been in the big leagues. I mean, he's talking about Hall of Famers, All-Stars, Gold Gloves, World Series winning managers. Again, you haven't played a day in the big leagues yet. It just, I really don't care that much, like whatever, but it lacks feel.
That's it. It lacks
feel. And I would love to really, really know what some of the guys in that clubhouse think. I don't know that they'd say it publicly.
Probably not.
But if you could give them truth serum and say, hey, what do you kind of think about like the whole thing here? I mean, not even the chains and stuff, but like this statement. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
From a guy who hasn't played a day in the big leagues.
go to
And I'd be willing to
Scooble.
bet a lot of guys were like, yeah, it's not really a great look.
Here's my problem with it. I think you're right. I don't care if he wears these things as long as he is able to take the criticism, because if I don't like it when people wear a bunch of things and it's like, look at me, and then get mad when people actually look at them. That's exactly what he's doing. He's in spring training. He's got about, in the comment or the announcer on the video was hilarious. He said he's got about $8 million worth of contract on his neck, which is true, but just don't get angry. Just don't get angry about this. You don't need to respond this way. It's making
somebody
you
said
look
said in
stupid.
the YouTube chat, which artificial intelligence wrote that for him?
That's
None.
not AI.
No, that's
him.
No, that is not. I've seen ChatGPT with that. And also, I suppose this was to a writer. This was in, I think, the Detroit Free Press. So this was a quote. Yeah, it was in the Free Press. Yeah, I mean, this was a quote article by Evan Petzold in the Detroit Free Press. To be honest, I wish there was video of this. I really want to see the video.
How does he deliver?
If they don't have a
this?
Sam Levitt in the clubhouse, then then they probably don't have video. So.
Like it's just unnecessary questions for everyone.
I wish him the best. Obviously, he was a very high pick. He may be a great player. I wish him the best.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, it's just a lot. It's a lot of words and names and accolades and kind of an attitude of that's not not bestowed typically on somebody who has not yet even made the big leagues. So
I'm
we'll
just happy the Padres don't have any.
He may be the last one laughing. Could be a great player, and do what he wants to do, wear what he wants to wear, and so be it. I hope he. I don't know him, so I hope he does great.
I don't understand why guys wear jewelry playing sports either. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Who was it that had their? Who has it that had their like necklace break on the field? And I think it was a Mets game where they all had to stop and like pick up all the diamonds off the field.
I don't remember. I do vaguely recall what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't actually
remember searching it right now. It was Yoenis Cespedes.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah. It was Cespedes.
Yeah.
Apparently it happened to Chris Archer as well. Just I'm reading an article here.
Oh, so it happens more than once.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, when you wear jewelry on the field, there's always the chance that it's going to break and your necklace could come off. But I have no problem with guys wearing jewelry. Wear whatever you want. Wear whatever you want. Have whatever swag you want to have. I think all that stuff is a-okay if you're doing your job and you're playing well. And I think it will not garner much criticism at all.
If everything's fine.
But when you haven't played a day in the big leagues, look, here's the thing. If you haven't played a day in the big leagues, then you've got to know that some of that's going to come with doing that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like he quite understands that or has a great feel for the whole thing. So
yeah, we'll ask Tony when he gets here so that we can get his opinion on it.
Yeah, no, I'm fascinated to hear what Tony would say.
I love trying to predict what he's going to say, and I think he's not going to be on this kid's side. I think he's not going to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to hear what Tony. I'm interested to hear what Tony would say.
Because he's very pro player, as we know and as we expect, but I don't think he would stand for this.
And Tony's a guy who has tremendous feel.
He does have tremendous feel.
So, and I think that word "feel," I want to dive into with Tony
Okay.
a little bit.
All right. Also, until Tony gets here, we're going to drop this conversation. We have some NFL news to talk about, Sam.
Kyler
on
Murray?
the other side. Kyler Murray is one of them.
Oh, yeah. I was listening to the local radio here last few days. Big topic.
Yes, that is a huge topic.
I mean, I could throw a baseball almost to the stadium here.
State Farm?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get Sammy's take on Kyler Murray when we get back here on 97.3 The Fan. Camelback ran. I just opened up the camera and Sam was dancing into it. You could watch us if you want to. 97.3 The Fan on YouTube. Also at the Skraby, at Gwynn and Chris SD on YouTube. 97.3 The Fan SD at Matt Skraby. Facebook 97.3 The Fan. Sam is getting a little restless. He's getting a little restless.
The Arizona sun, it's getting to me.
I bet. I mean, when I come out there, it better not be 100 degrees.
No, it's supposed to cool down.
Thankfully,
it was a little cooler today, and I think in the next few days it's actually supposed to cool down quite a bit, like down to the 70s.
Have you heard about this feud that Chris has with meteorologists?
No.
Okay, so Chris gets really angry whenever a meteorologist predicts like rain or something like that, and then it doesn't happen because his wife makes him bring all the furniture inside from outside with the threat of rain. But he has this weird thing. He says that they're all wrong, and he just goes off about meteorologists. It's the weirdest thing. He's a weird guy sometimes.
You know, it's a tough job. I mean, you're dealing with Mother Nature and trying to make predictions of what is really the unpredictable.
Yeah, I mean, Chris predicted Luis Campusano
we have a lot of
great
meteorologists. We have a lot of great meteorologists in our city.
Yeah, we do.
A lot of great TV meteorologists.
Yes.
I'm friends with some of them.
Oh, are you? The only one I could.
Yeah,
the only one
Brooke
I
Martell,
know is
Brooke Martell does a great job across the street at NBC.
Yeah.
Others as well. Yeah.
Others as well.
I'm trying to think of other.
My friends.
Maybe you know what? Maybe I don't know that many.
My friend's wife
does a great job.
My friend's wife, Megan Perry, is a meteorologist.
Right, of course, yes. Megan Perry.
But anyway,
Megan
Chris
Healy. I'm blanking.
Man, you are in on the news. I guess I don't watch the news all that often.
We all kind of work in the same business, you know.
That is true. That's Sam Levitt. He's in Arizona. I am Matt Skraby, and I am in San Diego, broadcasting live for the Bill House Studios. We know how. Sam actually made me aware to a story that we should be talking about this Darren Peterson from Kansas.
It was a brief mention in a commercial.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
See, this is why you have to. I'm going to tell you all something right now. You have to be very careful with. I think. How do I put this? In my opinion, when you're working with somebody on the air, you need to be very, very careful about what you bring up during commercial breaks. Because and by the way, I'm happy to talk about Darren Peterson and whatever, but like, you just never know what's going to get brought up. Like, I could say something personal and you just never know. That guy may just bring it up right out of the break.
I wouldn't do that, but I definitely latched onto this Peterson story.
Like, I could be like, Skraby, I'm having a really tough time. This woman I really like, she won't text me back. Man, it's just been really tough. Out of the break, Skraby is going to be like,
welcome back to
Sam.
Gwynn and Chris.
I know you've seen better days. I know it's been tough for you as of late with that whole situation you have going on with that woman. But
it's true. It's so true. Never mind. It's really funny that you said that. NFL talk. We were going to talk about this.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know. I couldn't bring it up because I would have to explain
please,
everything.
Don't get yourself in trouble.
No.
Stop.
All right, here's some NFL news. Sam mentioned it. He's in Arizona, and the biggest news out of Arizona is that Kyler Murray is reportedly going to be cut by the team next week. He's guaranteed $36.8 million for next year, and he would have been guaranteed another almost $20 million for 2027, but they're going to make way for him, and he's going to be playing somewhere for the minimum. And if I'm the Miami Dolphins, I am running to go get Kyler Murray right now, because he's going to be the minimum, Sam. But out there in Arizona, this is a big deal.
Well, hold on. Explain this to me.
What?
Why, if you're the Dolphins, do you want Kyler Murray?
Because you're getting rid of Tua,
right?
And you have Quinn Ewers, who is not necessarily a starting quarterback, but Kyler Murray instantly upgrades that offense from Quinn Ewers. Yes.
Does he?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Does he?
When he plays and he's not
Kyler
hurt,
Murray upgrade an offense? That that for sure?
I do.
Okay.
I
Kyler
think
Murray is better than Tua?
I think so. I mean, Kyler Murray's been with the Cardinals for 7 seasons. Tua's about on his way out.
They've won what?
They've won nothing. You're absolutely right about that.
Did he go to the playoffs?
I believe he went to the playoffs at least once. But there's
always
a lot of
injured.
He's always injured. There's a lot of questions about him.
I don't know. If I were a team, I understand there are cap reasons and you can get him cheap. I get it. And I get why you take a flyer. Like, look, if I were the New York Jets, if you're not going to have a quarterback you're drafting this year, and I don't know that they are. I mean, I'd take a flyer on a Kyler Murray over a Justin Fields.
I would too. I mean, there's going to be multiple teams that are going to want to try to bring him in, but he's a starter. You don't, and the draft does not have great quarterbacks in it. So that's why I'm thinking that the Dolphins or a team like the Jets could use him as a bridge to something else.
While we're talking about the Jets, again, this is random. I understand people in San Diego are going to be like, we don't care. However, give me 30 seconds here. It's so classic Jets. Aaron Glenn didn't do a great job last year. This was a bad team. I don't know that he inspired a ton of confidence. We all know what's going to happen here this season with the Jets.
It's going to be terrible.
They're going to be bad.
Yeah.
And he's gone at the end of the year, if not sooner.
Yeah, he has no shot.
So it's like, sometimes I look at it and it's like, why waste time when we can kind of see how this is going to go?
I can tell you why.
Like,
Sam.
if the Jets are bad again this year, Aaron Glenn is not going to be the head coach after that.
No.
Correct?
Correct.
So why don't you, I don't know.
Here's the thing. That team is never going to be good until their owner gets the heck out of there, because that guy is the problem. He's the guy who tried to hide all of the team surveys. He got it blocked so that the NFLPA couldn't just release them, and then they leaked them anyway. He doesn't want to spend money on the team. Aaron Glenn has no shot, but I understand what you're saying, Sam. Like, why go another year of mediocrity, less than mediocrity, and then fire the coach just to start over?
Yeah. Well, you might not want to pay him to not be there. So
yeah, that's true.
And you can make the argument, look, they're not going to be very good again. So why would you hand another coach that scenario? I don't know.
I don't know either, but that would be, the Jets are a tough situation all the way around. Like, there's good things about the Jets right now. The New York football teams are struggling, although Jim Harbaugh
the Giants, the Giants have a potential franchise quarterback in Dart.
Yes.
They've got Harbaugh.
Yes.
So I would say the Giants are actually much better positioned than the Jets currently.
Agree.
Much better. They've potentially got their guy at quarterback, potentially. Jury's still out a little bit, but he looks like he might be the guy. And they got Harbaugh. So
that's it. They promising. Got Harbaugh.
Yeah, it's a lot better than they were, say, year and a half ago.
So the other news, Sam, Indianapolis Colts have placed the transition tag on Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes. If he does not sign a competing offer sheet, which means another team can offer him more money, he would get a 1-year guaranteed salary of $37.8 million. Anthony Richardson, backup quarterback that the Colts drafted, he has been told he can look for a trade. I don't know that Danny Dimes is worth $37.8 million, but again, you don't have a quarterback. What are you going to do? You're just going to let Danny Dimes go somewhere else and then not? I mean, I guess you have Riley Leonard. You're going to put Riley Leonard.
Yeah. Well, Danny Dimes is really, really good before he got hurt. I mean, there's a world last year in the NFL, in the AFC, where if Daniel Jones does not get hurt, the Colts are in the Super Bowl.
There is an argument for that. There is.
Right.
There is.
I think you can very easily actually make that argument that if he doesn't get hurt, they were playing well enough and he was playing well enough. Then when you ultimately looked at the AFC and how it shook out, that they would have had a legit shot to come out of the AFC.
I don't disagree. The AFC was up in the air for everyone, and the Patriots were the only team that took it. So I don't disagree with that. But the Colts, I don't think they're ever going to be good until they find that next Peyton Manning, which obviously all teams want to find the next Peyton Manning. Last one, Sam, from the Bears, veteran center Drew Dahlman has informed the Bears that he is going to be retiring from the NFL at the age of 27 after just 5 seasons. He just, this has been something that's happening more and more often. And I remember the 49ers had a linebacker named Chris Borland. And Chris Borland led the NFL in tackles his rookie year. And he then retired that offseason. And it was always the plan. He just wanted to prove to himself that he could play NFL football. He did. And then he retired because he doesn't want to deal with the head injury stuff. And obviously that is a massive deal for these guys. And to Drew Dahlman, it's worth it enough to retire at the age of 27.
Yeah, I mean, look, and I haven't seen what Dahlman has said and why, but we've seen this. We have. I mean, there's famous examples, right? Andrew Luck.
That's very true.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's probably right up there. Didn't Luke Kuechly retire pretty early?
He had to because.
Or am I making that up?
No, he retired, but he retired early. But he had really bad head injuries, and so kind of.
I mean, look, Luck had bad injuries too, but that was a shocker when it happened.
Yeah,
if you recall.
It was.
But yeah, you're right. We've seen this. Yeah, we've seen
now.
Dahlman
Dahlman hasn't said why yet, Sam. That's why I was looking for it.
I'm curious. Yeah,
I'm curious for this as well.
I love that Bears team this past year. They were fun.
I hate them because they're good. That's why.
Yeah, I think Caleb Williams. I think Caleb's going to be really, really good. I think it's pretty clear he's going to be very, very, very good. The only thing I'll say, and like they pointed it out during a lot of broadcasts, even in the postseason, like I remember Collinsworth pointed this out a lot. He misses, and he's a young quarterback, but he misses like very easy throws for the, and it's true. If you watched enough of the Bears, it was like, man, this guy can make unbelievable plays with his legs and extending plays and being off schedule and throwing off balance. Like, for sure, he is quite the talent, and everybody knew that when he was coming out of college. But he also like misses really easy throws.
He does,
and he's gonna have to hit those with more consistency to be the guy that people want him to be, because there were just a lot like easy throws he would miss. But I like Caleb Williams. I think he's really fun. I think the Bears are going to be good. I do.
I do too. I do too. And it's unfortunate.
It might be the Northwest Indiana Bears.
Oh God, please don't say that. There's no shot that they're going to be the Gary Bears.
I don't know.
The Gare Bears, as they're calling them.
Hey, the New York Giants and Jets play in the Meadowlands in New Jersey. So
yeah, that's true. Happen. I got a text from Tony. He said that he had just pulled into his complex. And he's going to get set up, but Sam is going to be with us for at least one more segment. We're going to at least get his Max Clark opinion before Sam leaves today. So stick around. Sammy and Skraby, 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured, demand.
I have to look at Sam before I turn on the camera because he's dancing.
You have this like wacky instrumental, non-royalty.
Yeah, you know why?
Free music.
You know why? Because
why all the we all play music.
I know, but whatever reason the YouTube keeps rejecting our videos because we have copyrighted music, and I'm like we're the one show that doesn't use copyrighted music.
Yeah, but I think you got to look into that because whatever.
We can talk about. I'm going to look into
because I think somehow like the morning guys.
Oh yeah, I know that Paul
out.
has his. Paul's really good at, making sure that nothing.
Well, why aren't you good?
Through, because I'm not as good as Paul. That's just what it is. Okay.
All right.
Paul's got everything under control. I'm just a bull in a china shop at all times, running in circles.
No, you got a lot on your plate.
Well, thank you. Tony Gwynn Jr. joins us in the next segment. We'll talk about Max Clark, talk about Jurickson Profar, and Sammy could stay for that segment as long as he wants, because I know that he wanted to hear from.
I'll hang
Tony.
around.
Okay, great.
I think it's nice when we have a little crossover.
I love the crossover. The Sammy and Skraby into Gwynn and Chris crossover, or just Gwynn. Padres today. They beat the White Sox. I believe it was 4-3. Nick Pivetta had a okay day. I mean, still spring training. He pitched 3 innings. Now all of a sudden my thing is like trying to load. Oh, he pitched 3 innings, gave up 2 runs, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, gave up a home run. Kyle Hart walked 2, went 2 innings, no hits or runs. We saw a lot of the guys, Morihone, Jeremiah Estrada, Braglio Rodriguez, Pena. So that's the pitching situation. Nick Castellanos hit a 2-run shot, and he put them on top he tied them up at that time. But anyway, it's a spring training game.
Yeah, if you'll let me for a second, I can't recall if it was on here or if it was Braden or the morning guys where I talked about Kyle Hart. Was it yesterday?
It was with us. Yeah, it was
with
me.
I think it's worth bringing up again because he pitched well today.
Yeah.
Kyle Hart to me, I think is a very interesting guy. I do. For a few reasons. Number one, he can do a few different things. He can start. He can be a long man out of your bullpen. And I think he also could maybe be a lefty specialist. If you look at his splits last year, a 529 OPS against lefties. That jumped up to 847 against righties. But focus on the lefties. 529 OPS, 189 opponent batting average. Not a huge sample size, 57 plate appearances, but he was good against lefties, which isn't surprising. He's a lefty, and I think there's some deception there. I can't believe I'm saying this because I don't actually have the data, but he appears to me to have good extension.
Oh, he does.
He's a tall, lanky guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I could just see where there would be deception there. To me, he's an interesting guy, and I kind of wonder how he may play a role on this team. Is that going to be on the opening day roster? I don't know, but we talked about potentially open spots in the bullpen more than you would anticipate if Yuki's not ready for opening day, if Jason Adams not quite ready for opening day. I think there's a world where they could use him out of the bullpen as a guy that they deploy against lefties in particular. And we talked about it yesterday. I think part of that is that the 2 lefties that are in the bullpen, and Morihone and Peralta, number one, Peralta is good against righties, and Morihone is certainly not a matchup guy. Morihone is one of the best relievers in the game. So, you don't even, if there's a lane for him, maybe 7th, 8th inning, maybe you pick which one based on the lane. If there are lefties coming up, certainly. But the reality is Morihone, he's a guy that you're throwing out there against righties and lefties and whomever, right, in big spots. So I just kind of wonder, like, if they look at it and say, you know what, we could really use kind of a guy to get lefties in particular, even let's say earlier in the game. He's interesting to me, Kyle Hart. I'd keep an eye on him. I really would.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah. I think my prediction is that he will play a role on the 2026 Padres when it's all said and done.
It feels
I don't
like
know how
they're-
long, I don't know what exactly, but I think he will play a role on this team.
It feels like they're setting themselves up situationally a lot better this year than I've maybe recognized in the past, where they have a guy like a Kyle Hart who can get lefties out. You pick up a guy like Andujar who can hit lefties. It just seems like they're setting themselves up for situations. But I want to know from you, Sam.
Yeah, and also I'll say this: like the jury is still out on if Kyle Hart could fill that kind of role in the major leagues. Okay, like I'd have to see it more. Be like, hey, we're gonna use this guy as like more of a classic lefty specialist. So we'll see. But to me, there's a world in which he kind of profiles as that. There is. We'll see.
Everybody, when Kyle Hart becomes the middle relief lefty specialist, remember, you heard it here with Sam Levitt first. I have a question though about Craig Stammen and how he's going to manage the bullpen. How different do you think it's going to be from what Mike Schilt, how he managed the bullpen? I think it's going to be a lot
That's a
different.
good question, Skrabe. Yeah, that's a good question. We don't have the answer yet because the season hasn't started. The one thing that I think I'd want to ask Craig, and luckily I have the opportunity to, so maybe I'll do it tomorrow or at some point because I don't think it's super pressing. But if you recall, Mike Schilt really, really liked bridging relievers one inning to the next.
Yes.
Both seasons, he did that a lot in a way that Bob Melvin the couple of years prior did not. He was very much in the camp of, I'm fine with a guy sitting for another batter or two, right? And the 3 outs that you get or 4 outs that you get may not come in the same inning. Obviously, you can't get 4 outs in one inning, but I think you understand my point. Comfortable with guys bridging innings.
Yeah.
I'm interested in Craig Stammen in that sense a little bit, especially as a former reliever.
Yeah, that's
is he going to be more hesitant to have guys do that? Look, I think with Craig in particular, if there's one area of expertise he certainly has from a baseball standpoint as a manager, with no experience managing, like, yes, knowing relievers, managing a bullpen, understanding the nuances and intricacies that come with that, he certainly has the resume to do that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know that we're going to know until we get into the games, but Mike in particular it was very, very evident how comfortable he was having guys get a couple outs or get 3 outs and then go back out and get a 4th.
Yeah.
Or go get a 3rd the next inning, whatever it might be. So that, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if Craig Stammen, I feel like obviously his pitching experience is really valuable in this, but I don't know if Ruben Niebla is going to be making more of those decisions because they are in tandem.
I think a lot of the pitching decisions are pretty joint. And I also think that Ruben's so good and Ruben has so much input that, I think there's a lot of input that goes into all these. But certainly when you just talk about from a bullpen management standpoint, I would say in Major League Baseball, it would probably be hard to find a better combo of resumes than Ruben and Craig as far as, associate manager / pitching coach and manager to make those calls.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that.
But also like, it's like any manager in baseball. There are going to be nights where Craig is going to make moves and they're going to all work and he's going to push every right button.
And we're going to celebrate him.
I will guarantee you the Padres could win 110 games this year and there will be nights where he gets second guessed.
Yes.
And that's the nature of the job.
It is.
And that's the nature of managing a bullpen.
It is. And I don't think Mike Schilt liked being second guessed by fans and the media, and that's kind of why he stepped down. He said he was just not into all the different opinions out there. But all right, Tony Gwynn Jr. He is going to come and join us next. We're going to talk a little bit about Max Clark, and then I don't have any idea where we're going to go with this show. So
I think the two topics.
Oh, well, Jurickson and Max Clark,
Profar, and I think the Max Clark one's an interesting one too.
Producer Sam Levitt, host Matt Skraby.
Yeah, let me take over here. Show you how to do a real radio program.
Chris, hello. Yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going in with, too. Let's take a look. Of course, Alan Trammell from Kearney High School in San Diego. And then, of course, the Detroit Tigers, great shortstop. Jack Morris in a Tiger uniform there, but I always remember him pitching that 1-0 shutout in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series for the Minnesota Twins. Maybe the greatest postseason pitching performance of all time. Chipper Jones, Padre fans remember him. Every fan of a National League team remembers him because he would come in and do damage to that team. Only the second #1 overall pick in the Major League Draft, Chipper Jones, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The other is Ken Griffey Jr. Vladimir Guerrero. Never met a pitch he couldn't swing at. And powerhouse hitter for the Expos and then, of course, the Angels at the end of his career. Jim Thome, over 600 home runs, mostly with the Cleveland Indians. And then, oh, yeah, the guy down here on the end who used to get all these guys out all the time, Trevor Hoffman, the greatest Padre reliever of them all. Two of the greatest outfielders in the history of baseball. Of course, you've got Babe Ruth right here. Ted Williams right over there. I was wondering who the third outfielder would be. And then, of course, it hit me. Tony would be upset if I didn't say that the third outfielder, who will someday probably be displayed right here between these two guys, is obviously Mike Trout. And this is the San Diego Padres locker room here in Cooperstown. Obviously, a couple of jerseys there and hats, gloves, all-star stuff. I think the most interesting thing in this entire display, though, especially this weekend, is a picture in the top corner of Angus Young. He's the guitarist for AC/DC, wearing a Trevor Hoffman uniform, obviously playing Hell's Bells. I know that Trevor went to many AC/DC concerts and was honored by sitting in the front row to watch AC/DC play Hell's Bells in his honor. But there's a picture of Angus Young playing Hell's Bells for Trevor Hoffman, wearing the 51 jersey right there. Chris, hello. Yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going in with, too. Let's take a look. Of course, Alan Trammell from Kearney High School in San Diego. And then, of course, the Detroit Tigers, great shortstop. Jack Morris in a Tiger uniform there, but I always remember him pitching that 1-0 shutout in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series for the Minnesota Twins. Maybe the greatest postseason pitching performance of all time. Chipper Jones, Padre fans remember him. Every fan of a National League team remembers him because he would come in and do
Matt Skraby in the Bill House Studios. We know how. 97.3 The Fan. Sammy in Arizona. Tony Gwynn Jr. in Arizona. Hello, Tony. How are you?
What's up? How you guys doing today?
Pretty good. Pretty good. White Sox. Padres beat the White Sox. Nick Castellanos hits a 2-run home run. Things can't be, nothing's bad here.
Yeah, I mean, you're hanging your hat on Cactus League victories.
I was ready for that.
Yes.
I was ready for that.
You're going to have a tough one, brother.
I was totally ready for that. But I think I'm going to also do something this year. Every time
getting that Francisco Acuna go ahead RBI double.
Do not make fun of that.
That's gonna carry me for the next 3 weeks.
Man, we're gonna have ourselves a great week.
You need to look forward to something. Come on, guys. This is what I look forward to. I know you guys are living it every single day.
But that's kind of the thing is that Sam and I are actually like in the thick of it. And so I mean, even if we weren't taking stock of victories in spring training is a fool's errand. It really is.
I think I want to do something new this year because you know how Tony, when they hit a home run, you go, "Oh, I want to pull every single one of those this year and just keep adding it to the end, and then we could just play it all the way through."
I miss every now and then. Like I'll give you an oof and it don't go out. It's just sometimes I do it on like a hard hit ball. It don't even have to be a homer. So
I'll do it only on homers then.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. What you guys been talking about today?
Well, Jurickson Profar, unfortunately, reportedly
I know that was
banned for 162 games. Also, Max Clark. But let's start with Jurickson. What are your thoughts on what happened?
I mean, my thoughts are he's going to sit out 162 games. I mean, listen, too much discussion and like what is he going to say this time? It doesn't matter. He got 162 unless they find out that because and listen, I don't know what he took last time. I know what he said the reason for it was, but I don't know what the actual. Some of these things can stay in your system for a long time. So his best bet is that when they appeal it and they pull that B sample, they're able to prove it. Otherwise, he's gonna sit down 162, and he won't be the first to ever do that. A-Rod did it, and we'll see what happens from there.
What would be and this will lead us into the Max Clark, not story, but it was just interesting to read the statement.
I got a big one over here. I just popped that. I just saw this bad boy.
What in the world is
what is that?
It's a pimple.
That was hilarious.
Actually, it's funny you say that. You can't really see it. Yesterday,
yours ain't that bad, dog. Mine's just like a whole other eye.
I don't get a ton, but sometimes I can get some really big ones.
Is that why you're wearing the hat?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I digress. I got you off course there.
Just before we get to the Max Clark thing with Profar, what would you think the reaction inside that Atlanta clubhouse is from a teammate standpoint? This is a guy who's supposed to be your everyday left fielder. He already missed 80 games last year.
Yeah, I think there's two different thoughts that you're having. You're having the personal thought, which is like, yo, I do this like free of all of that. And here I am competing with you in this particular case. So you have that element that you're probably thinking. And then on the other side, you're like, yo, you're supposed to be out here helping us win ball games.
Right.
We just came off of one of our most disappointing seasons. And I'm not saying that there weren't a whole bunch of things that went wrong. But one of the first things that went wrong was that he got suspended for, half the season. And was ineligible if they even got into the playoffs after that.
Right.
And so you also have that thought as well. It's like, I'm always one to be willing to give guys chances.
Sure.
But you certainly can't fault anybody in that locker room for not feeling like that. And so that's the consequence. That's the consequence of the action, is that not only will you have outsiders, fans, questioning everything you do, and at this point probably will never give you anything that happens. They're gonna be like, "Yep." I mean, he could. Somebody could say he picked his nose, ate a booger. They'd be like, "Yep, he's 100%." Like there's gonna be no forgiving on that side from the outside. The other consequences on the inside, like the thing that players really, I think, covet most is their peers to respect them and what they do. And you could do two things can be true. You could be a great dude, a guy that I'd have a beer with and hang out with, but you could also, in that same breath, I could also view you well. But when we get on the diamond, man, I don't believe anything you do at this point. You know what I'm saying? And that, for at least from my perspective, is like the toughest thing. So you wanted to at least know that your peers respected what you did. He's probably lost a lot of that within baseball circles. Now, again, I still leave the door open for this appeal and what may or may not happen. But assuming this appeal goes like every other appeal goes, that's what he's going to lose.
I think also the point was made a little bit earlier. It's unfortunate that now a question about his 2024, I'm not going to sit here and start questioning his 24. But if there are fans out there who feel like, that 24 kind of came out of nowhere, I think at this point, I guess it's like a fair question if somebody wants to ask it. I don't view it like that. Like, to me, I said from the Padres fan standpoint, it's like, hey, thank you, Jurickson. Great moments. You're a fan favorite. I'm sure a lot of fans love him still, no matter what. And thank goodness that the Braves signed him and not the Padres, because then you'd be without a left fielder for 2 seasons.
My question would be to those folks is then how can you then believe anything then? I mean, if he was taking tests in 24 like everybody else is, and he was clean in that point, or he didn't, nothing came up, I think that's what you have to, because if you're going to believe that these last two are certainly true, which I think everybody does. Point. Yeah. So, I mean, the test can't be, working at one point and then not working at another point.
Right. And I think like the unfortunate part is he has that great 24. It sets him up so beautifully for this contract to get a kind of contract that before 24 was not even remotely on the radar for him. Okay, that 24 season, I mean, changes his career, changes his life. He gets that kind of deal. So to then have this happen, 2 straight years and lose the money, it's just unfortunate. It's like, it really is.
This is where getting into the psyche of an athlete, right? Because there are some athletes that would have had that 24, got that payday, and said peace. Took it to the house. Like, never been, even if they never reached that height again. But then there are the other side of that coin, which is, well, I got to go out and prove that I'm worth every bit of this,
Right.
And so, that's
like the A-Rod example is a really good example of that, right? Yeah.
100%. And so, I think ultimately his fate as of right now is sealed, 162. And so
my question
that's what it is.
Jeff Passan reported that it was 162 as the second offense. But if there's an appeal coming, why did they not wait to report this until the appeal showed that it was?
They don't ever wait.
So
they don't ever wait. I think sometimes it's a matter of when the people who are reporting it get the information. Sometimes I think that process has already played itself out.
Gotcha.
Sometimes the process in this case sounds like it hasn't played itself out yet. I think that's just a matter of when the leak happens and when they're able to kind of get that out there. Because when you fail a drug test, the team doesn't even know. They find out after. You know what I'm saying? So it's the player knows, and when the team gets, I think they get a little heads up like right before, but they don't know when the player knows.
Yeah, that's I didn't realize that that's how the process went, because I thought, That's kind of messed up just to put it out there that he's going to be, reportedly banned 162 games.
I think today, I also think today in particular, MLB didn't put it. It was Passanway.
It was Passanway.
Exactly. You're not supposed to find out until MLB says this player's been suspended for such and such time. But in the day and age we live in, someone's always breaking a story, and this is like a big story. And so you get that information when you get that information.
All right, let's move on to Tigers prospect Max Clark. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but Max Clark was being criticized because he was wearing a bunch of chains, jewelry around his neck. He was also got all the eye black on, and he looked. A lot of people are saying he looked like he wanted to look good, but didn't really care about the rest of it because he dropped 2 fly balls. And then he put out this long statement, and I read every word, Tony, on the air. And so our question to you was, how would you feel as a veteran player seeing this guy come in with the chains and, talking trash and then dropping 2 fly balls? What would you think as a veteran player?
Have you guys been paying attention to the young guys that have come up? Like, why are we trying to act like Max Brown is the first one? Excuse me, Max Clark is the first one to come out here with chains. Like, it used to be, if you was a young dude, you couldn't even wear earrings. You had to be like an established dude. Everybody got their jewelry on now. Does he have 1 or 2 extra chains? Yeah, he does. But you know what? That's him. Listen, everybody. I remember this very well. Everybody was internet gangstering on Twitter and was like, "Let these guys be themselves."
That's
right?
True.
It was like a thing for like a couple years. And so, now, because we had to have the stupid unwritten rules conversation like every year when someone got thrown at, right? We've moved beyond that. I think the league has adjusted. I think the veterans have adjusted. And so now you can't then ask him to go back to the old school ways of telling, dudes to not be themselves. I think, as usual, I'm assuming Detroit Tiger fans in their fields because he dropped a couple fly balls. Do you think my man was really out there with the chains on and all trying to drop fly balls? No, he got in the sun. He missed it. That's just how it go. He wouldn't be the first dude. The only difference is people don't like the fact that he got his chains on and he's, being himself.
But
That's really what else did he do besides drop the fly balls?
Well, he posted the statement, and the statement I think made it worse.
The statement was like basically, I don't give a about what y'all have to say.
It was, but it was also very long.
I haven't read it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I just read his quote that he must have said it to, I'm assuming, the media afterwards.
Well, I think the whole statement was to the media, but the full thing was posted, so maybe some things were taken out of it. Go ahead, Sam. You have a pretty good characterization.
Real quick. Could you guys clarify this for me real quick? Did he make this statement like on his account?
It was an article.
Okay,
it's a very long quote in the Detroit Free Press. Very long quote in an article in the Free Press. Where I fell on it was, I have like you, Tony, I have absolutely no problem with the chains and whatever he wants to wear. And I said the same thing, like, hey, guys, when they want to come out wearing whatever they want and have whatever swag they want, and especially if you play well, you do something good. Look, I get phone calls on my post game all the time about this kind of stuff, about celebrations and bat flips. And I say, look, I love it all. If you play well, I'm for it all. It's entertainment. It's fun. Guys showing emotion, wear what you want to wear. I'm cool with whatever. After reading the statement, after reading the quote, if it was just a lot, it was a lot for somebody who has not played a day in the major leagues. And I just kind of questioned the feel of like, hey, maybe it's a moment to just be a little humble, kind of, I don't know. It lacked a little feel to me for somebody that had not played a day in the major leagues.
So, Skraby, I think you started to ask me about if I was a veteran, what would I say to him?
Yeah,
that would have been the only thing that I would have mentioned to him. Like, hey, man, the thing is, when if you're going to move like that, you have to expect that there's going to be a fraction of people that are going to hate it, and they're going to let you know about it. And I think what I would have told him as a vet is, like, if you're going to be you, man, be you. But you can't then succumb to a back and forth with whatever, or making statements like this. Just do you. Do you play ball like you said? You're a baller, man. Go out there and do you. You sitting here trying to have a back and forth with the fans through the media is a lose situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just there was a part in what he said where I said, if you know what, just say that.
Can you give me the read? Can I hear this statement? I haven't seen it in its entirety.
Yeah, I mean,
it's really long.
It's long. I'll read it quickly.
It's that long.
When's break?
Coming up here in about 3 minutes.
I think I can get through it. You
All
ready?
right, let's go.
I'll read you the whole thing.
Let's
All
go.
right, here we go. I don't care what they have to say, to be completely honest with you. People don't know me. There's a lot of people out there that will do anything for some monetary clicks. I've been dealing with this since I was 15. It's part of this game. It's part of this process, and it's only going to get worse, obviously. People love to talk about things that they don't have a clue about. They don't know how I was raised. My mom was a special ed teacher. My dad drove semis. I grew up in a 2-story house, loving God and serving him. And just for people to go out there and say stuff like that, I'm sleeping just fine at night. I can promise you that. One day they're going to have to look in the mirror and answer that question themselves. I get to wake up each and every day and play a child's game for money, surrounded by 3 probable Hall of Famers, 6 All-Stars, 15 Gold Gloves, and a manager who's won the World Series who also played. They support me, they love me, and we work each and every day for that. I'm not close to done, by the way.
Yeah, this is not even halfway.
That's the big picture. I don't care if people criticize me for dropping 2 fly balls. No kidding. I should have caught the fly balls. Doesn't matter if the sun was there. It doesn't matter if it was my first time playing left field. It doesn't matter. I should have caught the ball, but it had nothing to do with the fly ball, right? They're just looking for an image to paint. People talk about humility and humbleness. That's not even a question. Each and every one of these guys know what I'm going to go out and do for them each and every day. To Jesus, I got him 2 bottles of the best rum you can find because I felt like expletive for messing up his incredible start. I'm aware of it, and that's the thing that people don't realize. That's the thing that people don't understand. They're not inside this clubhouse, and there's a reason for that. Even the ex-big leaguers of the orgs, like Jeff Fry, there's a reason that he's doing what he's doing, and there's a reason that we're doing what we're doing. There's a reason that we're still in baseball. There's a reason that AJ Hinch is still in baseball. It's because they carry a heavy responsibility to make us mature men, which we are. It's a strong clubhouse. Parker Meadows and I were messing around, and you snapped a picture of it. That should tell a story in itself. He's the man. Everybody had my back. Everybody has lost the sunball. I read something from Aus Jackson the other day on it. It was like, as long as he's out there trying to figure out how to catch in the sun, then that's all that matters. And that's right. The same day I texted George Lombard that I wanted extra work in left field. I wanted extra work to figure it out. Those things come. You learn them. They just come with the territory. Obviously, I'm going to get more flack just because of the way I dress. But at the end of the day, I know I'm a baller. I know I'm a gamer. And that's what everybody else here knows. That's why I was drafted where I was.
And scene.
All right. So I'll give you my thoughts on the other side.
Oh, good job.
How about
good
that?
job.
More from Gwynn and Chris. Sam sitting in. We'll discuss on the other side.
So last night the bus was to leave for the airport at 8 p.m. And Tony, you know this. Everybody knows this. You know, if you're hooked up with anything like this, as Pete Carroll used to say, on time means you're late.
Right.
So Amy's the young lady who handles all the travel and puts together the itinerary. So we're just about ready to leave. You know,
TJ Lucida.
she stands up as the bus is kind of rumbling to life. And she goes, okay, everybody get your passports out. I want to make sure nobody leaves without their passport. Because, again, you are talking to college kids here, and you don't want
college
them
kids,
to,
huh?
That's what she thought she was talking to.
She thought she. So I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to my head, like, well, you don't need a passport for this trip. I didn't even bring one. We're just going to the Bahamas. And so, yeah.
That was your thought process? The Bahamas are an international flight, I believe.
This is almost equal to the fact that North Dakota borders Canada.
Yeah, I think it does equal that, Skrabe.
Actually, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I would have forgot about it too, buddy.
Right. So for whatever reason, I did not bring my passport. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, my stomach, you have your sinking feeling, and I'm like, what? Never do that. Yeah, thank you. And I was like, oh no, I don't have my passport. Here's my second thought, guys. If I just quietly call Lori, because the flight wasn't until 10 o'clock. You got some extra time. So I said, if I call Lori and just have her bring my passport down to the airport, I'll be able to get away with this without everybody knowing that I blew it. Because that isn't a factor here. You don't want to be embarrassed. So she's in the back checking the players' passport situation out. And I'm having this argument with myself. Oh no, what do I do? And so my first thing is I'll call Lori and I'll just say, hey, can you, I blew it. I forgot my passport. Can you meet me down at the airport? And then I thought, we live 25 minutes from the airport. Lori is not going to be happy. Getting my passport and driving it down there.
Because the airport is really easy to access these days.
And never easy to access, exactly. So I had a quick discussion with myself, and it was either A, it's time for me to embarrass myself in front of the team, or I'm going to have to ask Lori to drive to the airport. I chose the first one. So I said, oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot my passport. I don't have it. And Stacey Terry Hudson looked at me and like, what? Like you? I mean, she wasn't mean about it. She was just like so surprised. And as I was, and everybody's like, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I live, literally 10 minutes from the school. And I said, I'm going to call Lori right now. Is there any way we can just hold up for 10 minutes?
What?
That's all. It was either that or make Lori drive down, Skrabe. You got to understand my options here. They're very limited.
I get it, but I think your mistake means that you have to
do the hard one.
Yeah, you have to deal with the hard part.
I agree. Well, this didn't turn out a whole lot better. Amy, it's her first year on the job, but she's a very nice gal, so I don't have any really, I don't have any cachet with her yet. And she's like looking at her watch, looking at Coach Stacey Terry. She's like, 10 minutes, because that can be a little...
That's stressful.
Well,
it's stressful. And she doesn't care. Her job is to get everybody on that damn plane.
Right. And a lot of times what we don't know, the traveling party doesn't know, is they've already called ahead and talked. They have a travel agent that's going to kind of expedite the process a little bit. And if they mess up that contact, then everybody's messed up.
So everything is thrown asunder if you got to wait 10 minutes. And but I'm on the phone with Lori, and Lori's like, well, I'm not going to the airport. There's no way. She's like, you tell them that I'll be there in 10 minutes.
You tell them.
And I will give Lori a lot of credit. She, while this discussion was going on, found the passport and was already in the car.
Whoa.
So I give her a ton of credit. She didn't wait for... okay, go get the passport and hurry up.
Because she knew she wasn't going to the airport. So
she knew she wasn't going to the airport. Exactly, Tony.
She's like, I'm in the car.
She did. She said, I'm in the car. So I told, Amy, and I got Lori on the phone. I'm telling Amy and Coach, I'm like, she's on her way. And I said, I drive this all the time. It really is 10 minutes. And they're like, all right, 10 minutes. So last night, the bus was to leave for the airport at 8 p.m., and Tony, you know this. Everybody knows this. If you're hooked up with anything like this, as Pete Carroll used to say, on time means you're late.
Right.
So Amy's the young lady who handles all the travel and puts together the itinerary. So we're just about ready to leave.
TJ Lacita.
She stands up as the bus is kind of rumbling to life. And she goes, okay, everybody get your passports out. I want to make sure nobody leaves without their passport. Because, again, you are talking to college kids here, and you don't want
college
them
kids,
to,
huh?
That's what she thought she was talking to.
She thought she. So I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to my head, like, you don't need a passport for this trip. I didn't even bring one. We're just going to the Bahamas. And so, yeah.
That was your thought process? The Bahamas are an international flight, I believe.
This is almost equal to the fact that North Dakota borders Canada.
Yeah, I think it does equal that, Scrape.
Actually, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I would have forgot about it too, buddy.
Right. So for whatever reason, I did not bring my passport. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, my stomach, you have your sinking feeling. And I'm like, what? Never do that. Yeah, thank you. And I was like, oh no, I don't have my passport. Here's my second thought, guys. If I just quietly call Lori, because the flight wasn't until 10 o'clock. You got some extra time. So I said, if I call Lori and just have her bring my passport down to the airport, I'll be able to get away with this without everybody knowing that I blew it. Because that isn't a factor here. You don't want to be embarrassed. So she's in the back checking the players, passport situation out. And I'm having this argument with myself. Oh no, what do I do? And so my first thing is I'll call Lori and I'll just say, hey, can you, I blew it. I forgot my passport. Can you meet me down at the airport? And then I thought, we live 25 minutes from the airport. Lori is not going to be happy.
Nope.
Getting
go.
I mean, I was soaking it all up, and now Machado unloads deep left field. Manny has left the building.
Manny Machado's already in mid-season form.
Where are they playing at?
Is it in Miami? It looks like
it's
Miami.
The Dominican.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, those two games against the Tigers are in the DR. I don't know what city, but
it sounded like pandemonium there.
Yeah.
It's in the DR. Yeah, I'd have to look up what city it is.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Like when you're playing against the DR, when they get it going like that, and you get a crowd going behind you like that, this could be a little rattling for sure.
Definitely. All right, so we went to break with Tony holding his thoughts on Max Clark and his not statement. We can't call it a statement. We can just call it an excerpt from a quote.
It's a quote.
So what do you think, Tony?
Man, my man Max had been reading all of the press. He kept every receipt possible and then put together a freaking it was like that was
something.
That was something. That was something. I'll say this. I didn't mind the first half of it. That is him being himself and not being apologizing for being himself. But then when he started, you could almost tell he had read some tweets because he was like picking like very specific things out to talk about.
Yes, he was.
You know what I'm saying? Like he clearly has heard and read quite a bit in the last. And it sounds like he's been dealing with it for a long time. And so listen, I don't mind the young man saying the first half of that. I think once you got into the second half, you were doing too much explaining at that point. You know what I'm saying? I thought you ceded whatever ground you had gained in that first half of that portion. When then you started explaining about your background, like it was that point is too much. You know what I'm saying? Like you said too much, which is why as a vet, I would have just said, hey man, leave it alone. Don't even keep wearing your chains, keep, doing what Max does. Leave that alone, man. Because ultimately, let me tell you what, the funny thing about the people who enjoy the game is when you start playing well, those chains all of a sudden disappear.
Right.
He might as well be just completely chainless if he's playing well. The only reason why we're having this conversation is because he dropped 2 fly balls. If Max Green had gone out, hit 2 homers, we would not be having the same conversation that we're having right now.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's how it works. You just you can't go out and drop 2 balls though. You just can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to hear it.
Yeah.
Because people already are going to feel a way about the way you are looking out there on the field. I don't think as he clearly explained, the game, and that's what I was saying earlier, the game has changed. Like, those vets in there ain't holding him like to the same standard that, I had to be held in when I got to the league. Like, we're in 2026. Like, it's a new time. And quite frankly, all the fans asked for it. So, deal with what you're getting now.
Yeah. Fernando Tatis Jr. up at bat right now. He's 2 for 2
Fernando
in this
looks
game.
good. He hit a single the other way, then doubled in the left.
I saw his batting practice down there, and he was just crushing the ball.
My guy is very serious. And you know what? I think sometimes because they don't let the public in on it, they're very serious about his crowd. I had a good conversation with Toddy about the things he's trying to fix from a mechanical standpoint.
Okay.
And these guys, they're never gonna. Unfortunately for y'all, you guys they're never gonna open up to you. At least not at this. I mean, maybe when Toddy's older, and he's at that stage where he's kind of like passing along information, we'll get that from him. But he's in the prime of his life. He is not ceding anything that someone else could pick up and use against him in terms of other teams.
Oh, base hit.
I'm telling you, my dude, based on the things I've seen him working on, I really feel strongly that he's gonna be real good. He's gonna be really.
He
good
found like they were playing in the infield, and he found like the tiniest little spot on the right side of the infield to get that ball through and score a run.
I got 2 things for you before I head out of here. Number one, actually, one thing that's been really cool this year at spring training is that, for me at least, is that when they renovated the batting cages,
you can now see anything in and out.
You can now see fully into them because they have these. It used to be everything was blocked off with kind of a tarp. Yeah, you couldn't see anything. Now they have garage doors that go up and down, and you can see right in. And it's off limits video wise. That's their personal space to work and work on stuff and really, really hammer down on things. But nothing stops me or really anybody else from standing there and watching. I'll tell you, it's a blast to watch those guys in the cage, because that's something that, at least for me, you don't typically see, is guys working in the cage and how intricate it is and how many swings they take over and over from the tee, from flips,
it's
from
more,
a velo machine. Yeah.
And it's different than on-field batting, because by the time they get onto the field and they're taking BP, all of that other stuff is dialed in. It's dialed in. But watching them kind of piece it together in some cases, or you get to see their process, whether some guys want to start with flip, some guys want to start with tee, then they want live, then they want the breaking ball machine, or they want the velo machine, or they're hitting off of the what's that thing called, the pitch track over there, and they have one of those, literal. I mean, if I want to see Hideo Nomo, I can get in there and I can face Hideo Nomo, and it's like the answers to the test. Now, there's some other things that I think more intricate that I won't get into that I'm not necessarily a fan of. But if you want to see what it looks like coming out of Joe Musgrove's hand, you can get all the answers to the test.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's something that I'm even, and I even think about the minor leagues, and I could, in the minor leagues, I could go wherever I wanted and stand wherever I wanted for however long. But even in the minor leagues, I don't recall just watching guys in the cage for extended periods of time. And just the way they kind of sit around, and there's like a reflection on what they did, and then they get back in the cage, and kind of the conversation of it. The other thing I wanted to bring up was I just watched the Manny home run, hanging changeup, and we got our first Manny lean of 2026.
We did. Yes, we did.
I mean, it was lefty hanging changeup, swing, lean. He's leaning towards the left-handed batter spots. It's so the first Manny lean of 2026 has transpired in the Dominican tonight for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see quite a few of those at some point. But But yeah, man, it was, today's game. We got to see some of the back end guys throw. Adrian looked good. After Jeremiah got the pitches down, got his command under control, he looked good. Bragley looked good. It's deep bullpen for sure.
What about go ahead, Sam.
No, go ahead, Skraby.
I was just going to ask about Nick Pivetta.
Nick looked like he looked in the first start. It wasn't he was throwing strikes, but his command within the zone. I mean, he was in the middle quite a bit. That's how he gave up the hits. A couple breaking balls in the middle. He had a fastball in the middle that got hit. But the thing about Nick is he figures it out. He'll figure out, even if he can't command it, he's gonna find a way to get his 3 outs. He got 3 innings of work in, and so
he's gonna talk to himself in the middle of it. Does he do that in spring training? I doubt it.
What?
Talk to himself, like pump himself up.
He's working on stuff right now. Like you saw him throw a curveball and it was a bad one, and what did he do next week? Just threw another one. Like I'm gonna get this, and that's the difference. That's why spring training is long as it is, because pitchers are going to take a little bit longer to kind of get where they need to be.
Yes.
And even then, by the time we get to the regular season, guys are going 5 innings at the most to start the season. So I don't even know that they're necessarily there when the season starts from that standpoint.
See, that's a really good thing for me to remember. He throws a bad curveball and then he throws another curveball. It just proves to me that it just keeps proving to me you cannot take stats from these and try to make sense of them for the regular season.
What else do you need for you to understand that you don't need to take stats for spring training?
I don't know.
You don't need this example.
It just boggles my mind. But I get it. I get it. All right. Thank you, Sam.
Well, I'll one more thing that we talked about.
Don't kick him off, bro. We can go to 17,
I know we have a little bit of time. Well, what time do you go to break, Skraby?
We can go ahead, Sam.
I got one more thing. Kyle Hart at 2 scoreless innings today. And we talked about Kyle actually a little yesterday and today. He's interesting to me, Tony, because he's number one, he's somebody who can do some different things. He can start, he can be kind of a long man, he can maybe be a lefty specialist. Like I think Ruben was the one who made this point the other day, or something along those lines. I think like the world of him, especially in this bullpen where Morejon's a lefty, but he's also like one of the best relievers in the game. And Peralta is certainly not a typical lefty on lefty, specialist, quote unquote, because he's really good against righties. I'm intrigued by Kyle Hart, how he could play a role this year, whether that's opening day roster or not. Like to me, that he strikes me as somebody that you'll probably see him in some role, some capacity this year.
You definitely can't count it out. I think Kyle is interesting because it's not always pretty.
Yeah.
The way he gets it done, but he gets it done. And I think there's value in that. The question will be, how many lefties do you need, right? Because you already have Wandy. You're going to have Yuki as well.
All right.
Healthy.
You know what? I didn't put Yuki in that.
I know he's not. We
right.
haven't seen a lot of him, and maybe he starts the year on the IL. But either way, you got 3 of them.
You're looking at a bullpen, half of it's lefties. Yeah,
right.
Conversation earlier, Skraby. Yeah,
and rightfully so. I mean, he's been injured. We haven't seen him, so he's kind of out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
But assuming that those 3 guys, when healthy, are available. But Kyle gives you some options, though, because, listen, what we do know is that the 26 that start the season, at some point, you're going to need some more to come on up. And that's where the depth thing, I think, is really in the Padres' favor. They have some guys that may not be superstars, but they can come up and get major league outs. Like, it's not like a guessing game. Like, can this guy do it?
Yeah.
Can he? He can. And so – another one that was interesting to me, and you were out there for it today, Sam, is Stan brought up Gillespie. And I think he made it a point, it seemed like, to say, you guys talking to the media, you guys probably weren't thinking about this guy, huh?
Yeah.
But we got a lot of guys like that.
Yeah.
And the more I thought about it, even when he came up last year, he did well. He threw the ball really well when he came up. for the spot starter or whatever the relief spot he came up in. That's a guy that, again, not a superstar, but if someone goes down, you can call down and know this guy's capable of getting major league outs.
Right. I compared him, again, it's different situations, but like I compared, because maybe Braden asked me about it earlier. It might have been earlier in the day. And I think I compared him in a sense to like Mason McCoy. Again, not apples to apples, but
it's good,
a guy that nobody thinks that there's all this attention on, Jose Miranda and all these guys that are not 40-man guys. And then you have like the Mason McCoy, who's, hey, this guy's been up a lot and like has at least proved that he can play solid defense and maybe give you a pretty good at bat. And it's like, hi, I'm standing over here and I've been up and down a bunch the last couple of years. And I've kind of proved what I am at the major league level. So I just kind of made that comparison of like, yeah, you sort of easily forget sometimes about those guys.
Listen, every team, every year, there's this idea that the bench guys or these extra guys are going to be like superstars or they're going to be names that you know. Typically, they're not. You look at every one. Look at the 2 World Series benches. I bet you none of you guys could name the guys who came off the bench in those games, right? I mean, so I just think you need guys that ultimately, when you call up, you don't have to worry about can they do the job.
Right.
They might have a bad day, but you feel it's not like, man, crossing our fingers hoping this guy can do it. It's and I think there's value in that. And so
in AA they call that white knuckling, Tony.
Right. We listen when you're a contending team, you're not trying to white knuckle it, right? You're trying to you want to be able to feel confident about the decisions you make. And so we got a long way to go in terms of camp.
Yeah.
I think this is probably the most intriguing part. This is when everybody should be paying attention because Toddy's gone, Manny's gone. There's a ton of at-bats and playing time for some of these guys who could very well factor into that bucket we were just talking about. And so a lot of opportunity out there for sure.
Let me read this before Sam takes off. Sam Levitt joined us all day live from spring training, courtesy of David P. Shapiro. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com as he puts up his Tumblr into the camera. Sam, appreciate you the last 2 days. I feel like it's been like a week or something, but you'll be on next week with us, I believe.
Yes, there's a day next week.
Okay.
So.
Well, thank you very much. Tony, on the other side, we'll talk quickly talk Aztecs, and we'll do that next.
From the 855.
Tony, you care to,
Tony, I don't know where Tony went.
Because Tony,
I see the corner of his room.
Oh, well, hopefully he'll be back shortly. Harbaugh.
I'm not sure where he went. I might text him to see if he's okay here in a second.
Hope he didn't. Yeah.
Did you think he fell in the shower or something?
I hope he didn't meet with foul play.
You think he met with foul play in our commercial break?
I don't know.
I mean, he is in New York City. So.
He's in New York City. It could be, you never know.
All right, we'll just go forward.
We're just going to go forward without Tony. I'm sure he'll rejoin us when he gets a moment.
Everybody stare at that box in the top right corner because it's just the corner of his room.
I'm going to look now. I'm kind of intrigued.
Oh, someone says maybe he's in the bathroom. I don't know.
He's been known to go there, as have all of us, frankly, but him more than most.
Over under, Tony just forgot that he was doing the show.
That's not nice. So maybe that's what they're thinking.
You know what just hit me, Chris?
No.
What if Tony went out to get like ice or something and he forgot his room key?
That is something that he is more than capable of doing.
Because he would never be gone this late. This long with knowing that he was on the show.
No kidding, man. We took a commercial break like 5 minutes ago and he has not returned.
I'm going to text him.
Like, ask him, are you out in the hall trying to get into your room right now?
Everything okay?
Oh, no.
Question mark.
Scaring me. No. Did you hear back from Tony yet?
No, I'm thinking
something.
I'm thinking he locked himself out. He doesn't have his phone because it's in the room, so he's down at the front desk or something. I
don't know. I'm sure there's a story in here somewhere.
There's definitely
got to
be a story. Anyway. I was very concerned about Tony, and I took him off the screen because he's not back. I guarantee you he got locked out of his room.
I don't think you're wrong because that makes sense. But how far away is the lobby? Of course, the New York hotel, it could be one of those ones where you got to wait a while to get up to the...
And he's just sitting lying. I don't know why I find this so funny, but it is.
Well, it's funny if he comes back with a funny story.
Yeah, like I locked myself out.
It's not funny if he fell and hit his head somewhere and we don't know where he is. That's not funny.
Of course, that's not funny.
He's obviously not with his phone because he hasn't gotten back to us.
Has Tony locked himself out before? Not during the show, but I'm sure he has at one point in his life.
Of all people, Tony would certainly seem to be one who would do it.
Oh, August also says, Clinton said, got to use the key card for the elevator too. So maybe he's just stuck.
You can't even get down? No, you don't need the key card to go down.
Okay.
You only need those to go up. You should be able to get down to the lobby to say, hey, I locked myself out. In New York City. But if we do, can you go to the Padre Hotel and knock on Tony's door? We don't know where he is still.
No.
Still hasn't come back.
And I turned on
It's been 20 minutes now.
I know. Now I'm starting to get a little worried.
Yeah. Where'd he go?
What
happened?
I don't know. I would call the front desk of the hotel, but I have no idea where they're staying.
I don't know where they're staying either. And when you sent him a text and said, is everything all right? We have not heard back from him. He is still not back in his room.
I bet you he is standing in line in the lobby as we speak.
I'm trying to get his key back.
Someone said text Jesse or Dave. And
it's really not a bad idea. Maybe at the next break, though.
Yes.
If we get to the next break, we got to text those guys so that they can go make sure he's okay. Because I don't know where he is. It's crazy.
Dave Marcus is probably the one to text.
We'll text Dave.
Because he's, Jesse could be doing anything, but Dave's always there ready to go.
You're trying to say Dave has a ho-hum life and he'd just be sitting around waiting for a text, whereas Jesse might be busy? Is that what you're...
I mean, Dave's been doing this job for like 30 years. I don't think the what is the word I'm looking for? Never mind.
All right. Well, there's certainly an explanation, but we don't have it yet.
Text Scan. I don't know Scan well enough to text him.
We're going to text Dave if this gets to the top of the hour, and we still don't have a Tony Gwynn Jr. sighting. All right, do we just go to traffic like it's normal behavior time? I mean, it just seems weird.
We got to move on with the show.
Show must go on?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, we're going to do the good, the bad, and the really, really weird and ugly next here after traffic. All right, it's with less enthusiasm than usual that we embark on the good, the bad, and the ugly for week 2, Scrabe.
I'm going to try not to worry too much.
I'm going to try not to worry also. I'm not necessarily the worrying type.
I'm not either.
But, I'm intrigued now at this point. Like it's with this long pass to Devontae Smith.
He's back!
Helped put him there.
Hold on, he's back, everybody!
Stop everything.
I literally, we went to commercial break. I laid on the bed, and then I just fell asleep.
I never even considered it.
Tony, you care to...
Tony, I don't know where Tony went.
Because Tony...
I see the corner of his room.
Oh, well, hopefully he'll be back shortly. Harbaugh...
I'm not sure where he went. I might text him to see if he's okay here in a second.
Hope he didn't, yeah.
Did you think he fell in the shower or something?
I hope he didn't meet with foul play.
You think he met with foul play in our commercial break? Now, 97.3 The Fan, Tony Gwynn Jr. with me. Sammy Lev just took off. Appreciate Sammy Lev for stopping by the last couple days. You know, what people are saying about Sam, Tony, is we played this game where he had to take off his headset and he had to go away from the screen and he would go sit on his couch and everybody just caught him swiping like he was on, Bumble or something like that. So you see his thumb just going, whoop, whoop, whoop. And he was
nope.
Yeah, yep, nope. All right, Tony. We have the Aztecs men's team have 2 more games left in their season. They're playing Boise State tonight in Boise, and it's going to start at 6 p.m. our time. This is kind of weird because the last time that they played, they went into triple OT, and I believe one of the guys who hit a shot fouled out, but they didn't actually record it right, and so he stayed in the game, and Boise was really mad about it. That's just a side
I think it was
note.
Oldham.
Oh, it was. You're right.
Oldham.
You're right.
He had 5. They had him at 5, and then somehow they didn't, and then he was in the game.
He was in the game, and he made a big shot, big 3 to help them win. So Boise State is trying to win this game as well as the Aztecs, but the Aztecs have to win out, including their Mountain West tournament, to make the tournament, in my opinion.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, if they're going to win the tournament, they don't have to win out. That's,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the tournament is
That's true. I get, no, you're right.
entry.
You're right.
So, I just want them to play better. If we are truly already like out of, I mean, you need to win tonight, obviously, because, however many wins you're able to stack up thereafter as you get into the tournament only help your seeding purposes. But yeah, man, this team has been tough this year. And like I've been kind of saying the last couple of weeks, I'm sure all those things that have been reported are probably have some truth to it, but it's not the sole reason why they're struggling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, as we mentioned last week, all of these colleges in today's day and age are dealing with student athletes that are half in, half out. They're young, so they're always looking to see what's the next, what's over in the next area. It's just that's we all did that.
It's human nature. I mean, you kind of have to look ahead to know what's going on.
And at least you and I, when we were that age, were somewhat protected. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't know that what was out there. Now everybody knows what's out there, and they're always looking to see, what else they can get.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of is all natural. But the point is, all the schools are dealing with that.
They are.
And so, San Diego State is not in a situation by themselves where they have a team that may or may not have guys looking elsewhere or thinking about going. All the schools are dealing with it. I just think they haven't played as well this year, just strictly on the basketball side of things, right?
I mean, that also is a part of it.
Right. Those things can leak into, the actual basketball, but come on. I mean, that was the case before the season started.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, I think they just got to play better. Get a victory tonight. Then you worry about the next one the next day. This is the last regular season game, isn't it?
No, they have one more. They have
one
Boise, and then they play UNLV at home on Saturday, I believe. So there you go. We'll keep an eye on that. It's not fair for these World Baseball Classic teams to play against regular MLB teams. The Tigers are getting crushed.
I mean, you're saying that because they're playing in Dominican.
Yeah.
But are you going to say that when the Padres are taking on Great Britain tomorrow?
No, because Great Britain is not great.
Exactly. Now, listen, they got Jazz. They got a couple guys on there.
True.
But yes, you're not thinking the same way because they don't have a superstar-lated team.
It's like every hitter is just lacing balls all over the park. Just line drive after line drive after line drive. All right, Tony, we're going to head to break. We had an interview earlier today with Chris Demino of 680 The Fan in Atlanta to talk about Jurickson Profar, some of the other stuff going around.
I know Chris was hurt today. Boy, he must have been.
Oh, Chris Ello?
No.
Oh, Chris Demino. Yeah, no, he was angry. He was going through all these stages of grief. It was anger, happiness, sadness, all of the above. So we'll hear from him when we get back here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the first pitch of the year to the biggest games down the stretch. What
are we doing, guys?
I'm going to see the museum now. Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager. And Craig, listen, I've had the opportunity to play for 2 managers that were in their first year, Don Mattingly and the late Ryan Sandberg in Philadelphia. Both of them had their struggles. Even though these are the best of the best type of players, they had their struggles. Where do you see, yourself in terms of your staff and leaning on your staff to kind of be able to help you in those first year kind of struggles that many managers deal with at some point?
You're right. I'm going to lean on my staff a lot. And I remember having, small conversations with Bob Melvin about some of this stuff. And he was talking about some of the things he wished he knew when he was a first-year manager. And this was way back when I wasn't even thinking about this. We were just kind of talking. And he's like, I wish that I wouldn't have tried to do everything myself. He said, I felt like I had to be involved in everything and I had to be a part of every decision. And he goes, it's just not the case. He goes, there's a few things that I do need to be in charge of and as the manager, but I got good people around me. If I got good people around me, I just got to be able to trust them.
Right.
That'll be the hard part, but we're going to build that trust within the clubhouse, within the coaching staff. So I'm not doing it all myself. We're going to share responsibility. We're going to share the successes. I'll take the blame, and then we'll see where the dust settles. But I'll, obviously, hopefully gain a lot of experience where we get to the end of the season and we're in that playoff hunt.
Yeah.
That we're rolling and we're humming and we got a good process going.
Now, you mentioned, kind of building off what Mike has done here the last couple of years, adding to his legacy. You obviously have your own strengths, though. Where do you see your strengths being able to be applied to this ball club and how it may be of help?
Yeah, Mike had so much experience of organizing, how to be a great baseball team. He'd been mentored by many great managers, and he'd taken a lot from those guys. And I just listened to what he had to say about that stuff, and I saw how he did it, observing and listening to how he kind of went about his business. So a lot of the things that he did, I'm going to probably keep doing the same thing. What I think I can add is maybe just I'm a little younger. I got a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
I've got some relationships within the clubhouse that are maybe a little bit different. Does that give me the avenue to push them in a little bit different way, or like sneak in there to get them to do a few things that they haven't been quite open to in the past? Maybe I don't know. We'll find out. But, I'm going to treat them, with respect and hopefully get that respect back. And we're going to try to make this team as best they can be.
Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager. And Craig, you're clearly coming this with your eyes wide open with this situation. I heard you say partnering on multiple occasions up on the stand there. What does that look like for the fans who are listening and may not know what partnering looks like? What exactly is that?
Yeah, partnering, it's a give and a take. We have relationships with our families, our moms, our dads, our wives, our kids. It's not always my way or the highway.
Right.
There's got to be, even in this decision to become the manager, there was a lot of give and take with me and Audrey, deciding what was important to her and what we were going to miss by taking this, what was important to me, what I was going to miss in this, and then coming to a decision that works best for both of us. And I think those types of things can happen throughout the year with players, trying to get them on the field to do certain things in practice or in the game, but like partnering them in the way that's like, it's not just my decision.
Right.
We're in this together. We're accomplishing a goal together. It's not my, championship that we're going to win. It's our championship. It's the Padres championship. It's AJ's, it's John's, it's Eric's, it's Manny's, it's Toddy's.
Right.
It's all of ours together. It's Ruben's. We share that success together. I'll handle the blame, and then we'll do this together.
Last one, I'll let you get out of here. I know you got a busy day ahead of you. Mike Shildt did a terrific job of really shielding his players. He always was the man taking all the arrows coming at the ball club. But you also mentioned being able to push the guys. What does that look like? Because I think oftentimes fans hear, managers take the arrows and they're under the impression that there isn't any, pushing going on the backside of that. What does that look like sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, we got great players. So, like, the amount of pushing I need to do is limited.
Right.
But we can give them new ideas on how to navigate a season. And Mike was so good at, like, handling the players and taking the arrows, like you said, in the media and throughout the season and pumping those guys up and making them feel great. But there's ways that, like, maybe they haven't been exposed to, and that's what we're going to challenge our staff to do, is come up with creative ways to keep Manny Machado, healthy for a full season. Xander Bogaerts healthy for a full season as they get a little older in age, and can we have guys peaking at the right time and stuff like that? Just like open to new ideas and creative ideas, and the players will be partnering with that with the coaching staff to create something that we think will build us a championship team.
Now, Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager, and Craig, listen, I've had the opportunity to play for two managers that were in their first year, Don Mattingly and the late Ryan Sandberg in Philadelphia. Both of them had their struggles. Even though these are the best of the best type of players, they had their struggles. Where do you see yourself in terms of your staff and leaning on your staff to kind of be able to help you in those first year kind of struggles that many managers deal with at some point?
You're right. I'm going to lean on my staff a lot. And I remember having, small conversations with Bob Melvin about some of this stuff. And he was talking about some of the things he wished he knew when he was a first-year manager. And this was way back when I wasn't even thinking about this. We were just kind of talking. And he's like, I wish that I wouldn't have tried to do everything myself. He said, I felt like I had to be involved in everything and I had to be a part of every decision. And he goes, it's just not the case. He goes, there's a few things that I do need to be in charge of and as the manager, but I got good people around me. If I got good people around me, I just got to be able to trust them.
Right.
That'll be the hard part, but we're going to build that trust within the clubhouse, within the coaching staff. So I'm not doing it all myself. We're going to share responsibility. We're going to share the successes. I'll take the blame, and then we'll see where the dust settles. But I'll, obviously, hopefully gain a lot of experience where we get to the end of the season and we're in that playoff hunt.
Yeah.
That we're rolling and we're humming and we got a good process going.
Now, you mentioned, kind of building off what Mike has done here the last couple of years, adding to his legacy. You obviously have your own strengths, though. Where do you...
Happy Hour is brought to you by GL Pools, the company trusted by thousands of San Diegans to keep their pools sparkling, swim ready, and expertly maintained. Call GL Pools now and say radio for a free month of service. Matt Skraby with you. Tony Gwynn Jr. had to take care of something. I said it's okay. We already got it covered. Chris Demino of 680 The Fan is going to be on here in a couple minutes. And if you missed it earlier and you're wondering what a Braves fan or a Braves country thinks of Jurickson Profar reportedly being suspended for 162 games after the second violation of PEDs, you got to wonder what they're thinking down there. And Chris Demino told us exactly what he was thinking. So stick around for that. But first, we have the biggest fan. Congratulations to today's biggest fan, Rodney Sargent of San Diego. Give us a call within the next 10 minutes at 833-288-0973. You'll qualify for our grand prize, 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game with all the fan staff later this season, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. Rodney Sargent, San Diego, 10 minutes. Starts now, 833-288-0973. We're going to have a Skraby show for everyone, so don't worry about that. That'll happen at 6 p.m. But first, we got to hear from Chris Demino of 680 The Fan. And also, if you're a fan of the station, that means our beloved boss, Adam Klug. Adam used to be Chris's producer, so I wanted to start things out asking what Adam, the producer, is all about. But first, you need your traffic report.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Well, guys, that traffic alert remains in effect southbound 805 before the 8. All lanes except that far left and far right lane blocked due to investigation and cleanup from that early morning big rig accident. If you need to jump on west or eastbound 8, you need to do so from that far right lane. Want to continue south on the 805, stay to the far left. Also an accident westbound 8 right before the 805. It's over to the right shoulder. Reports of a car fire northbound 15 just past Balboa. That is over to the right shoulder. Eastbound 8 just past the 5. Accident being cleared out of middle lanes. Now reports of a stall on the Oceanside Boulevard off-ramp, North 5 coastline. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Adam Klug was your producer back in the day. And so my question is to you, what was it like to have Adam Klug as a producer?
Neurotic, not us, him. He was the youngest old man that I've ever met.
That's really actually kind of spot on. The youngest old
he's
man.
A kvetcher.
Yeah.
He's a kvetcher.
Yes.
Yeah, he's listen, I was a little bit insulted. The Braves had 2 pitching injuries right at the beginning of spring training, and the fact that he didn't literally set my phone on fire, wondering not only what does it mean, but what else is going to happen next, because I also think, Look, there's an expression. I might be paranoid, but that doesn't mean they're not watching me. I think he's one of those guys as well.
He totally is. Totally. We all love Adam here at the station, and I'm sure he was a great producer for you. But I wanted to make sure we got out of the way because I've never gotten to ask anyone that. Chris Demino, 680 The Fan. Now the big news: Jurickson Profar reportedly is going to face a 162-game suspension for violating PED rules for the second time. Yeah. A simple question: what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, he's a bum. I said he was a bad teammate last year. He went and he did the apology tour, and everybody sort of, even the beginning of the spring training, was talking about, hey, new day, good teammate, wants to win, all the things that, he sold to them last year and then in turn sold to Braves fans. You can forgive but not forget with the one time, and it's over now. He's arguably, I've been doing this 33 years. I've been on the planet 63 years. It's galling. This might be the worst contract the Braves have ever signed. And think about that. Like I live in a town, I call it the brick wall of crap. It's just another brick in the brick wall of crap that happens around here. And it was all because of him. He was selfish. Now, look, we had Jeff Passan on today and he broke it. And I've known Jeff for a long time. He and I were both on the same page in this regard. You hit the lottery. Look, I don't even know if he was clean when he got the $42 million deal here. I don't know if he did that clean. I have no idea. But he won. He hit the lottery. He pissed away $6 million last year, $15 million this year, $21 million he's never going to get back. And two things I would like. The Braves were off today, and they're going to get together tomorrow. And I'm hoping, at first I was sort of like, I don't know if you know the movie. There's a character in a movie called Pignetti. And once he's gone, he's kicked out of this academy, like out of this military school. And you never talk about him again. Never to be spoken of again. Pignetti, never to be spoken of again. Before that happens for Jurickson Profar, I want somebody to stand up in the middle of the room with the media there and mother blink him and just literally rip into him. And we have guys who are really good guys. And I don't know if you go against the brotherhood of baseball, even when a guy screws you, not once but twice. But I'm kind of hoping that somebody says, I'm speaking for the entire organization and just rips him. Now, the Braves owe him $15 million next year, and all he has to do is be reinstated. He's going to get $15 million. I'm hoping they cut him. I'm hoping they just pay it off, just say, I never want to deal with this again. I don't even know how legal that is. I know the union, because you pay union dues, is probably going to say something on his behalf. Nobody wants to hear it. I don't want to hear his story. He can tell it walking. I hope that all his stuff ended up in one of those big bins somewhere at the back of the complex. I'm not boxing it up. He's not coming to get it. There's none of that this time around. You're a terrible teammate. You're a bum. And I don't use that word often. And it really is a great word. It's so descriptive. Bum sounds exactly like what it is. That's what he is. I don't want to hear about tainted meat. I don't want to hear about, he was in a field and he got thirsty and he went to a cow and he shouldn't have done it, but the cow must have been on something because now he has it. No one cares. No one cares. There's no story this time around.
Fair.
We're joined by Chris Demino in Atlanta, 680, The Fan in Atlanta. Well, Chris, look, I think we certainly know your thoughts on Jurickson Profar loud and clear on what's transpired over the last couple of years. Let me ask you this, one more on Profar, because Matt and I were talking about it towards the top of the towards the start of our show. How do you, because we kind of, I guess, in San Diego, he was beloved, right? He was beloved, the personality, the flair, and he had a great 24. It was out of nowhere, but the guy had magical moments. So I think for people in San Diego, it may be a little bit difficult to know exactly how to feel about this and him. How do you view the 24 season?
I'm not telling anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not telling anybody how to feel.
Yeah.
We might have been sold a bill of goods because who knows what he was on in 24. And again, here's the thing. He hit the lottery. He made the team. It's $42 million. All you had to do this offseason was not do anything. You're going to get $30 million. Even if you stink to high hell, you could be terrible. You can be terrible. Look, at the end of the day, the Braves might end up being a better team instead of this thing hanging over your head where, oh my God, do I have to worry about him? Which we didn't, because as you said, personality plus. He won everybody back. hey, man, bad mistake, my bad, love the game of baseball.
Yeah.
That ain't going to be me ever again. Well, it was before the season started. 2 games last year before the season started this year. They get $18 million back this year. Now, here's the problem. Listen to this. He gets popped for 80 games last year. He was on a $12 million contract. So the Braves saved like $5.8 million in salary, but it cost them over $6 million to replace him. So they didn't even win financially last year. And they get a half a season of a guy who we thought now we have to worry about, is he a good player or not? Was he jazzed up or was he not? But he had $30 million more coming to him. So again, San Diego can feel any way they want about him. What I would tell any fan out there is think about a guy screwing you twice. Not once, twice. And you look around and you go, well, I don't know what we do now. Now, again, here's the crazy part. The Braves might be better off with the $18 million, whether it's McCutchen and Giolito or any combination of whatever it is you might do, but not today. Not today.
Right.
That is not part of this today, because the 18 you get this year, 15 million of it next year could actually go back to this guy's pocket. So again, personality, smile. Oh, he's this and that. We've all known people like this. They're Jakes. They're Jakes. You know, when you shake their hand, they got I call it cologne hand. When I shake your hand, look to see if your watch is still on, because they're going to kill you with a smile. And I don't care what the story is. You know, I'll tell you, does this make you a terrible human being? I don't know. That's for you to decide. It makes you a terrible teammate. A terrible, terrible teammate. And you're doing this now in spring training with, you know, less than 3 weeks to go to start the major league season off. And you didn't get a DH, and there's not much out there. I don't know what you want to do, how you're going to fix this. He was absolutely part of this whole program, whether he was playing left field or DHing. This guy was going to have 450, 500 at bats. They had him hitting clean up. And now this guy does it where you just go, all right, not today. Not today, whatever the story might be, not today.
Chris, let's push the conversation forward a little bit, because this feels like another blow in what's been a tough spring training for Atlanta. A lot of injuries. Give me just a pulse of the fan overall in Atlanta, between the injuries, I suppose the job that Alex Anthopoulos has done. Give me a little feel for what a Braves fan is feeling right now overall entering this year, coming off last year.
So it's 2 arms. It's Hurston Waldrop, who really had a nice little pop last year, who might not have been in the starting rotation this year because he had options, and that's part of it with a guy like Bryce Elder at the back of the rotation who doesn't have options. And by the way, I'll just say this. Bryce Elder is not going to be the reason you win or don't win this year. Like, for everybody who's up in arms about Bryce Elder being the number 5, that's not why you win or lose this year. Number 1 headline is, can't believe they didn't get a starting pitcher. You had 2 guys go down, still can't believe they didn't get a starting pitcher. So that's, if I am allowed to speak for Braves fans and the things that I know, the things that I read, the things that I hear when I'm out and about, or in my text messages from buddies, direct messages from people, stuff we talk about on the air. Didn't get a starter. That's probably the most surprising thing. And it's actually a little bit anger inducing to a lot of the fan base. The other part is your offense has got to be better. 2023, it was historic. It seemed like you were up 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 in the first 2 innings. And boy, does that cover up some of the stuff that you might have lacking in your staff, not just your starting rotation, but your staff. I think last year also, because you had all 5 guys. Think about this. Your starting rotation from day one, all 5 guys at one point were out at the same time.
Right.
I don't know if it's ever happened before, but it certainly has never happened around here. So no starting pitcher is a big thing. But offensively, I want you to think about this. Drake Baldwin was not even supposed to be on this team. He ends up winning Rookie of the Year, right? And the only reason he's on the team is because Sean Murphy gets hurt. He comes up and he wins Rookie of the Year. He's the only guy on the offensive side of this baseball team who played above his contract. The only one. Matt Olson maybe played to his contract. Austin Riley, no. Ozzie Albies, no. Ronald Acuna out too many games. Michael Harris, certainly no. There goes Profar for 80 games. Shortstop was a disaster. Not Nick Allen's fault. If Nick Allen was a shortstop in 2023, that would have been perfect, because every pitcher loved Nick Allen playing shortstop. They were so bad offensively last year that you really couldn't afford to keep Nick Allen. I paid $20 million to Kim. I'm paying Strider $20 million for the next 3 years, and I don't even know if he's still a number 2. And Drake Baldwin, of all people, who was not even supposed to be on this roster, is the only guy who played above his contract. You can't win. Like, I'm almost surprised, and this is not pity party time, I'm almost surprised they won 76 games with all of the nonsense that went on around here, both in the rotation and offensively, not doing what it is you're supposed to do.
We're talking to Chris Demino of 680 The Fan in Atlanta, and he is brought to you by SDCCU. It's not big bank banking, it's better. I want to ask about Brian Snitker real quick, because I think it was a little bit of a surprise to maybe some of us on the West Coast that he would step down. But hearing about this, do you think that he stepped down, or was he asked to leave, or what was that situation like?
Well, I look, last year it took its toll. I mean, I've known Brian Snitker for a very long time. I knew him when he was a third base coach. It's a 30-plus year relationship, both on and off the field. And I respect the hell out of him. And that man waited his time. And I'm not sure. Maybe I'm right about this. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I don't know if there have been many guys that have won more games starting their major league managerial career 60 and over. Like, to start your career to win as many games and a World Series. There's nothing but love for Brian Snitker. But I can also tell you, here's what happens. I've been doing it so long that there was a group of players from the mid-'90s, the Chipper Jones, Glavine, Smoltz, Maddox, that group, that I was friends with off the field. You know, I did mix, you know. I had social things with guys like that, you know, going to their retirement parties and their Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. But that was back in the day when you would have beers with guys. You go to spring training, you have beers with guys. It's all changed now. I say it to say this. I went through probably right up to Freddie Freeman and Jason Hayward, where I was socially around guys, like socially. I would go out, I'd see him, it'd be grab a beer at the end of a game, whatever. That went away. What happened is you sort of age out to the players, and you sort of become more coach driven. Walt Weiss is probably the closest guy that I am in all of baseball, because every day at 3:15, or a lot of days when they were at home, I'm on the field, and I had conversations with him and Ron Washington and Eric Young and Sal Fasano and, you know, Eddie Perez, that they become sort of your people. And they know that off the record is sacred. I've never burned anybody in that. So you get to talk about things. What about that slump? What about this? How long is it going to take to get out of it? Walt Weiss became sort of the guy that I'm closest with. And I was nervous he wasn't going to get the job. But a lot of people around here thought it was just an extension of Brian Snitker. I tried to say, and some believed me because of the relationships and just being around guys for a long time, and they trust you, he's not Brian Snitker. And I was so happy at his introductory press conference when somebody brought that up, this extension of Brian Snitker. He said, look, that's sort of insulting. I'm my own man. And I was just happy he said it. Him and Brian Snitker were as tight as it gets. He had an opportunity to interview for managers' jobs outside of the Braves organization. None of them were better than what he was doing as a bench coach here. And he sort of said, if it was reversed, Brian Snitker, I would think, would say the same thing here. I'm my own man. He is. And I really like that about him. He's firm but fair. He doesn't have a lot of rules, but he's going to tell you what they are. He's going to make sure you understand. He's got pride in this Braves uniform. And I think that's something that comes across. And he said something. It's called Behind the Scenes or Behind the Braves. It's a YouTube series. They just put out episode 1. And some of it is his speech to the team when he messaged with them the first time around. His whole thing is, if you're not aggressive in baseball, and he's a football guy, like he is a football guy. He's a grappler. He is a workout guy. He is a bona fide tough guy. The quietest tough guy you're ever going to meet. If you're not aggressive in baseball, you will get overrun. Not careless, aggressive. And I think that this team, from a base running point of view, take 90 feet, break up the double play, take strikes, but bang the ones that you like. I just think there's sort of an invigoration with some younger coaches around here that was palpable when I was down there for a week and a half ago.
Absolutely. I mean, I could go on for days talking about this, but Chris, we have to get going with the clock coming up. Thank you so much for joining us here in San Diego.
Oh, hold it. Is
Appreciate
Klug still doing this thing with the clock? Wait. Is Klug still doing this thing with the clock? I tried to tell him years ago.
He's got us married to the clock.
Oh, my goodness.
Time is just a number, brother.
Yeah, well, yes, unless you have to hit the top of the hour right on time, or else, we're in trouble. So,
oh, God.
Thanks so much, Chris. Hope to talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
You too. Bye. Chris Demino, 680 The Fan in Atlanta. He was brought to you by SDCCU. It's not big bank banking. It's better. I really appreciate Chris Demino, because if you didn't know how he felt when he got on the phone, you definitely knew how he felt by the end of the call. So we'll talk more about this in the Skraby Show, which is in about 5 minutes or so. The Aztecs basketball team is supposed to tip off at 6 p.m. from Boise. We'll see about that. We got a lot to talk about. And we'll hear the Manny Machado home run that he hit tonight in the Dominican Republic in about 5 minutes here on 97.3 The Fan.